Musisi, and I am with Robert Chirabo Nyonyintona. Good morning, Robert.
A lovely morning to you, and of course our viewers. Thank you very much for waking up with us on UBC TV this morning. And of course the main event of the day today is the NRM primaries, where we are seeing 2,777 people in this race. Now these are people that picked nomination forms to represent their constituency, the 519 constituencies. Who will take it at the end of the day? Well, we will be updating you as events unfold. But also something very interesting. Recently we saw a political party, Judy, if you remember very well, known as the Common Man's Party, being launched by, that is former MP, that is Kawempe. Now, what is very disturbing or in change of events, the Electoral Commission came out yesterday and clearly stated that there is no such a political party in Uganda. In Uganda, we have 27 registered political parties, and the Common Man's Party is nowhere recognized as a political party. Neither can it have anyone stand on its party ticket. They said that it is very clear there are steps if you want to register a political party, starting from grass, or if you want to change the name of a political party, because the law provides that you can change the name of your political party, but there are criteria you must go through, and if you've not been cleared by the Electoral Commission and handed a certificate, then that cannot be a political party. Now, where does it leave the so many that had come up to follow and believe in the Rusania party? I don't know the Rusania in English.
A platter.
A platter.
Yes.
Well, now that is their symbol, which I found very interesting.
Interesting, I know, right?
Come and we eat, and also at the launch where they had pilau. You know pilau?
Yes, I do.
Rice mixed with meat.
Yeah.
Now I saw people eating in Rusania, enjoying from that platter. But the Electoral Commission comes and says, maybe this is just something you did, but politically in Uganda, among the 27 political parties, the Common Man's Party is nowhere. Therefore, it cannot carry out political business recognized under the laws of this country, like fielding candidates. Very unfortunate for them there. I don't know if time still favors them, but we've already had special interest group elections, and elections are underway. Do they have enough time to follow the procedures and have it registered by the Electoral Commission? That only God knows. But like you said earlier, today the NRM, they'll be going to the polls and electing now. Here is a very trying moment because we've seen some hotspots like Jinja City, Remiyaga, Isingiro, that is basically Sembabule, where we've had the incumbent who has been there for 24 years, Theodore Sechikubo, and Brigadier General Emmanuel Rashande. Here life was lost, bullets were fired. Now when you go to Insingiro there, we remember vehicles burnt, borders burnt. Come to Kasanda here, also the incumbent, that is Kabanda, where we saw also disaster. But I want to say Maokota, I want to thank Shats Kutesa, who stepped down for Sodo Kaguta, because the previous elections, Mawokota, it was danger between Shats and Sodo.
Yeah.
I was one of the journalists who were hid in the hills there when things didn't go well. And I'm happy this time Shats says I stepped down. I think she has served her 5 years.
Right.
And she's saying, okay, Kaguta Soto, take over this time. But remember, he who wins as a flag bearer, of course, has to tussle it out with what other political parties will bring on table.
Indeed, the election season is here and it has a lot to display. We are here to follow it up and bring it to you as it comes. For now, Robert, add us into more detail with what's on the local scene.
Well, on the local scene, basically, the outstanding stories are politically, where now I want to go more into what Tanga Odoi, that is the Electoral Commission for the NRM boss, said yesterday at a press conference. Now, the NRM Electoral Commission Chairperson Dr. Tanga Odoi said all is set for today primaries, urging all stakeholders to observe the rule of law and avoid violence. While giving an update on today's party primaries, the commissioner hinted on facts that the last set of electoral materials were dispatched on Wednesday morning, taking this repetition to emphasize that NRM's Electoral Commission has once again reassured the nation of the preparedness to hold the much awaited for party primaries today, the 17th of July 2025. Dr. Tango Doi also said that they will not tolerate any acts of hooliganism or anyone who is intending to cause commotion and disrupt such. Ask them to abort these risky behaviors because they will face the wrath of the law. In the same warning, he sent to district chairpersons and ministers who may be tempted to abuse their powers by overriding the role of the presiding officer, who is in this case the NRM District Electoral Officer. Meanwhile, the Electoral Commission is on high alert for a number of districts categorized as hotspots. Well, that is what I have for you on the local scene. May Julie take us to the rest of the world.
And thank you, Robert. But before we even go into the foreign scene, let's have a look at the election guidelines that were issued by the NRM Electoral Commission. And some of these guidelines were eligibility for a candidate, Ugandan citizen who is 18 years and above. And also in there, one must be in the NRM voter register, but also one must not be a member of the armed forces. Also, being able to vote, PWDs, elders, youth, and workers in the NRM voter register are eligible to vote. And looking at the polling day procedure, each polling station shall be demarcated by tape. A presiding officer of the NRM Electoral Commission, all right, each polling station shall be demarcated by tape or sisal strings. And that's what you'll take note of on your polling station. And a presiding officer of the NRM village register shall be in charge of each polling station. So that's one thing you also have to mark while at your polling station. Some of the procedures of the polling day today as the NRM primaries and guidelines take place. Voting, which will be by lining up behind candidates, will start at exactly 12 p.m. and end at 2 p.m. And that is voting that will be across 72,000 villages. Voting by proxy is not allowed, so no candidate should be represented in any form as the candidate. Now, tallying an announcement of results, the presiding officer shall loudly announce the number of votes each candidate has got at the polling station. And that is one of the procedures, and the DR forms shall then be transmitted to the tally center. That is the other. Also, declaration of results will take place before 4 p.m. at the district tally center by the NRM district elections officer. Now, please take note of this, because as you head to your polling station, you must be aware of each bullet that is pointed out there. Now, looking at illegal practices, bribery, procuring ineligible persons to vote, obstructing of voters and election officials, soliciting for votes on polling day, and unauthorized or multiple voting for any one position is illegal as stated at that. So do not find yourself in any such circumstances at your polling stations. Now, looking at some of the hotspots in the NRM primaries, we have Jinja South City, Nathan Ngeme Nabeta and Richard Mbazira toughening it out from Jinja South East. And the other hotspots, we have Budyope East, Moses Magogo Hassim and Damzungu Joffrey tussling it out as well. And the other hotspots, Budyope West, Mili Babalanda and Ibrahim Mululi Choto tussling it out as well. And moving on to the next hotspot, that would be Kamuli Municipality, Masityo, Namatovu, and Baroda Kayanga, hustling it out as well. Bugabula South, Matthew Bazanya and Moses Chibalia, tussling it out as well. And looking at Alibao, Sauda Kauma, and Mariam Self for Iganga District Woman MP positions. Now, Kigulu South, we have Milton Muuma and Patrick Kayemba tussling it out for the position of MP there. And Chigulu North, we have Bueno Fred Chakulaga and Ismail Badogi. And looking at Luka Woman MP Esther Mbayo and Annette Navidie. And Namumba Woman MP Betty Nachisita and Mariam Naigaga tussling it out there to represent the NRM party. And Mitiana District Woman MP Judith Navakova is at it, unopposed in the NRM primaries. Now, Dennis Hampson Obua is the other representative for the NRM that is unopposed, and he is representing Ajuri County, representing to contest for Ajuri County.
Also Chief Whip.
And yeah, Government Chief Whip as well. And looking at the other unopposed member is Kampala Central MP position, Minsa Kabanda. And the other MPs that have, members of NRM that have been unopposed, have, the list is quite long. We also have Sironko Woman MP Aisha Nabulo Mafabi, unopposed there, ready for nomination by the EC. Soroti City West, David Calvin Echodu, ready for nomination by the Electoral Commission. Bukedea District Woman MP Annette Anita Among, who happens to be the Speaker of Parliament. Liras City Woman MP Jen Ruth Acheng, and Kalungu East Vincent Bamulanga Chisempi Jack coming back to contest for his post there. Bukoma Nsimbi North, Salim Chiseka also unopposed, ready for EC nomination. And Maogola North, Godfrey Aine Kaguta coming in for Maogola North. Okot Boniface Kole South unopposed as well. And the list is actually rather long of members of the NRM that have been unopposed.
Or about that?
Sorry?
They're over 11 or about
they
that?
They are. I think I'll just count my list here, but they could be over 11. Those ones unopposed are just ready for the Electoral Commission to give them the nomination flag of please go ahead and contest.
And some may be very lucky that in some areas, if you have the NRM party flag,
that's true.
There are high chances of you actually winning.
Yes.
Because the NRM dominated areas.
Yes,
and
indeed.
history precedent has shown they are NRM.
Indeed. Now, we are talking about the primaries almost all day, but everything elections is in there. For now, let's have a look at what is on the foreign scene quickly. Babies made using 3 people's DNA are born free of hereditary diseases. I don't know what you think about that, Robert, but 8 babies have been born in the UK using genetic material from 3 people to prevent devastating and often fatal conditions. Doctors say that the method, pioneered by UK scientists, combines the egg and sperm from a mom and dad with a second egg from a donor woman.
May the Lord forgive us.
But also, let's quickly look at US deports 5 barbaric migrants to Eswatini. The US has deported 5 people who it described as criminal illegal aliens. Wow. And this is to the Southern African Kingdom of Eswatini. On board the flight were 5 deportees from Vietnam, Jamaica, Laos, Cuba, and Yemen who have been convicted of crimes ranging from child rape to murder. And the U.S. Homeland Security Department Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin said in an online post. I wonder why they were deported to Eswatini of all countries and why to Africa. But anyways, let's have a quick look at what is in the press today, Robert.
Well, let's look at the New Vision this morning. Security deploys heavily in hotspots. That is the NRM primaries. And still looking at the New Vision here, UNEB to start setting mock exams. Now, still in the New Vision, we see government donates cars to cultural leaders. except for Uganda Kingdom. Now also we have former Makerere Vice Chancellor Professor Rubobi dead. Now also still in the new vision, we see the finance audits pay for domestic areas. Still looking at the local scene, World Bank boss on her tour of duty in Uganda. Now allow me quickly go to the Daily Monitor, where I have UN experts report Angus Kagame and Muhoozi. What was contained in the report? Then moment of truth as NRM decides. Well, what is that moment of truth? What is that truth that you must know? Still, more education ministry officials quizzed over that is 19 billion theft. People are having these, the word I was going to use is opportunities, so I better take it back. Now, 76 reduction in mother infecting baby with HIV/AIDS. Wow, that is good. Now, the Lizard is here this morning. Talks about government gives cultural leaders vehicles. To those who have more will be given. Okay. Then, of course, on a lighter note, his birthday message won me over. What was that message?
I know.
Yeah, what women want, Judy. Imagine a birthday message.
It's the small things that always matter. But let's look at the Daily Nation. The Daily Nation has the headline there, by-elections test for Ruto, Raila, Gachagua. And in there is also a story on politics. 6 National Assembly seats on senatorial post and 15 member of county assembly vacancies up for grabs. Why Kenyans are paying more for fuel. State opts not to tap fuel subsidy, leading to highest price hike in 2 years. Equity heist, bank blocked from raising cost of 83 million shillings loan for its sacked internal audit boss. Wow. Anyways, quickly, let's have a look at what is in the Citizen. Mobile transfer hit 18 trillion shillings as digital payments surge. The central bank says its monetary policy report for July 2025 that the continued growth underscores the country's accelerating digital transformation and rising public confidence in electronic payment platforms. Also, rollout of 5G network reaches 26 PC, and Iyala wraps up sessions with key matters pending. And that wraps it up for what we have in the dailies. For now, let's have a short break with some music. But when we get back, we shall still be looking at matters elections, but this time around concerning you as the electorate, as one who actually makes that decision. And to have that conversation with us shall be Manuela P. Mulondo, who is a gender equality advocate, early childhood enthusiast, author, speaker, and an entrepreneur. So stick around, save the number 0709602592 and ask your questions away, as share your opinions as we engage her on these matters. Good morning, Uganda. Good morning, Uganda. 519 constituencies are heading to the polls today to elect the party flag bearers for parliamentary positions. Today is the 17th of July 2025, a day marked on the calendar for the NRM primaries for members of parliament. And as UBC, always inspiring you and amongst all to make sure that you are current and up to date. So that means we will be giving you a live feed of the events as they transpire today. My name is Julie Nantava Musisi, and I am with Robert Chirabo Nyonyintona. Good morning, Robert.
A lovely morning to you, and of course our viewers. Thank you very much for waking up with us on UBC TV this morning. And of course the main event of the day today is the NRM primaries, where we are seeing 2,777 people in this race. Now, these are people that picked nomination forms to represent their constituency, the 519 constituencies. Who will take it at the end of the day? Well, we will be updating you as events unfold. But also something very interesting. Recently, we saw a political party, Judy, if you remember very well, known as the Common Man's Party, being launched by, that is, former MP, that is Kawempe Munyagwa. Now, what is very disturbing, or in change of events, the Electoral Commission came out yesterday and clearly stated that there is no such a political party in Uganda. In Uganda, we have 27 registered political parties, and the Common Man's Party is nowhere recognized as a political party. Neither can it have anyone stand on its party ticket. They said that it is very clear there are steps if you want to register a political party, starting from grass, or if you want to change the name of a political party, because the law provides that you can change the name of your political party, but there are criteria you must go through, and if you've not been cleared by the Electoral Commission and handed a certificate, then that cannot be a political party. Now, where does it leave the so many that had come up to follow and believe in the Rusania party? I don't know the Rusania in English.
A platter.
A platter.
Yes.
Well, now that is their symbol, which I found very interesting.
Interesting, I know, right?
Come and we eat, and also at the launch where they had pilau. You know pilau?
Yes, I do.
Rice mixed with meat.
Yeah.
Now, I saw people eating in Rusania, enjoying from that platter. But the Electoral Commission comes and says, maybe this is just something you did, but politically in Uganda, among the 27 political parties, the Common Man's Party is nowhere. Therefore, it cannot carry out political business recognized under the laws of this country, like fielding candidates. Very unfortunate for them there. I don't know if time still favors them, but we've already had special interest group elections, and elections are underway. Do they have enough time to follow the procedures and have it registered by the Electoral Commission? That only God knows. But like you said earlier, today the NRM, they'll be going to the polls and electing now. Here is a very trying moment because we've seen some hotspots like Jinja City, Remiyaga, Isingiro, that is basically Sembabule, where we've had the incumbent who has been there for 24 years, Theodore Sechikubo, and Brigadier General Emmanuel Rashande. Here, life was lost, bullets were fired. Now, when you go to Insingiro there, we remember vehicles burnt, borders burnt. Come to Kasanda here, also the incumbent, that is Kabanda, where we saw also disaster. But I want to say Maokota, I want to thank Shats Kutesa, who stepped down for Sodo Kaguta, because the previous elections, Mawokota, it was danger between Shats and Sodo.
Yeah.
I was one of the journalists who were hid in the hills there when things didn't go well. And I'm happy this time Shats says I stepped down. I think she has served her 5 years.
Right.
And she's saying, okay, Kaguta Soto, take over this time. But remember, he who wins as a flag bearer, of course, has to tussle it out with what other political parties will bring on table.
Indeed, the election season is here and it has a lot to display. We are here to follow it up and bring it to you as it comes. For now, Robert, add...
Election campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala, 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, This is Good Morning Uganda.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the rider selection campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Taxation is a bit complicated, and the only way to demystify it and make it as easy to understand and to comply with is through engagement. Is there a limit to the number of cars a returning citizen is bringing into Uganda? Who has paid the excise duty on this water is not the supermarket which has sold you this bottle at 1,000. It's not the business, it is the man who is going to drink this water. We strongly believe that it will only be through such constructive engagement that we'll be able to broaden our tax base and build our country together.
Buza Commissioner. Now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
Juko.
Yo.
Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that.
Okay.
The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the rider selection campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archive stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
The government's core mandate is to maintain law and order, safeguard citizens' rights, and provide essential public services.
Remember, one of the pillars of a roadmap is innovation and entrepreneurship.
There has been this question of how are you protecting our indigenous seed?
It's going to be a tall project. That answers somebody's question.
For the past 20 weeks, the Front Bench has brought you insightful discussions on governance, security, healthcare, justice, and commerce.
When you go through this complicated procedure, involve the lawyers, you bring the case against him, the judge will hear you out and pass judgment, and you're out of court in record time.
We remain committed to keeping you informed and engaged on key national matters.
So these are huge, these are powerful organizations which now Uganda chairs. Why don't you come together?
If we haven't migrated to the e-card because of various reasons, including that not all the people of Uganda have smartphones.
You can sit in your house, apply for a passport. If you have a Ugandan who has a successful logistics firm in the US, it means he can come to Uganda and do a lot more.
Now airing every Monday at 8:30 p.m. with me, Jethro Kasaiji, your interface with the government only on your public broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Taxation is a bit complicated, and the only way to demystify it and make it as easy to understand and to comply with is through engagement. Is there a limit to the number of cars a returning citizen is bringing into Uganda? Who has paid the excise duty on this water is not the supermarket which has sold you this bottle at 1,000. It's not the business. It is the man who is going to drink this water. We strongly believe that it will only be through such constructive engagement that we'll be able to broaden our tax base and build our country together.
Buza Commissioner. Now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
This August, Africa gathers again. The passion, the pride, the beautiful game. It's Chan 2025. And the heart of the action, Uganda, the Pearl of Africa stands ready, not just with a world-class stadium, but with open arms for every African nation. Nambole and its floodlights are already welcoming. From Kampala to Karamoja, our stadium is set. The pitch is perfect, the stage is built, and the spirit of Uganda is unmatched. Come feel the rhythm, taste the warmth, and witness hospitality like no other. Uganda welcomes all of Africa for a Chan like never before. Chan 2025, unity, passion, victory, and it's all happening right here in Uganda. Don't just watch history, be part of it.
In all these years, we emphasize two words, wealth and jobs, and we try to waken our people up to show them where wealth and jobs come from.
The Parish Development Model, PDM, is a bold initiative that is reshaping Uganda's rural economy. By allocating 100 million shillings to each parish annually, PDM empowers households by unlocking opportunities for wealth creation.
This program will be maintained. Each year we send 100 million for the parish. If you get the 1 million, you can buy some goats, you can buy some pigs, you can buy even young cows.
Farmers are transitioning from subsistence farming to commercial agriculture, laying the groundwork for wealth creation and improved livelihoods.
This project started 11 years ago after an inspiration from His Excellency. And that time I was working as a taxi driver. I was doing that Massa business in Soroti, and he was talking about how to improve household income.
With the PDM, you bring back the money after 24 months. But in the third year, you would get another 100 million paid back by those who got first.
The President's message is a mindset changer. Becoming rich does not mean you should have a lot of land, you should have a lot of education, you just need a vision and implement and start from where you are.
So therefore, this PDM is to get all of you out of poverty. That's why we said 100 million per parish per year.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
The posters are everywhere. The bordermen are ready to put. All open roof cars have been purchased. All trucks with loudspeakers have been hired. Even billboards are now at work. You know what's happening? Uganda is voting again. But do you know who won't be voting? The young girl that was defiled on her way to school. The university student who was raped because she complained about her marks. The woman that was beaten by her husband because she joined a circle. The mother who died giving birth in a hospital that couldn't contain the fact that she needed a cesarean section. That's who will not be voting. You know why? Because she's either been silenced, beaten, or is dead by now. Uganda, we cannot vote the same way we've been voting before and expect different parliamentarians. This is the time to ask ourselves, what do our parliamentarians truly stand for? What do they really hold as their values? Is it us? Is it the women? Is it the girls? Is it really the things that pertain our everyday lives? Or is it just them and their pockets? So that the next time you go out to vote, to cheer, to post, to campaign, or to tell someone who you're going to vote for, think about her. Think about her who's been silenced forever because a parliamentarian didn't change the law. Think about the right person that will sit in this seat and think about everyone other than themselves. I remain Manuela Mlondo, and I pray that we make the right decision for who will stand in our parliaments to represent us.
Who should be the right person to be voted? Now, that is Manuela Molondo. She is a gender equality advocate, early childhood enthusiast, an author, speaker, and an entrepreneur. She's just not in that clip. We have her in studio to speak more into this matter. Uganda is electing come 2026, the general elections. Just today alone is the primaries for the NRM party for members of Parliament. And we've seen how the campaigns have been. The campaigns have been quite chaotic. There are hotspots already named like Sembabule, Remiaga, Mawokota, wow, Isinjiro, and all of these are actually vying for positions in Parliament. But at the end of the day, you'd ask yourself, what exactly is causing them to be that violent when it comes to a seat of service? Why do they have to go that violent for a seat of service? And that seat of service is determined by you, the electorate. You are the one who casts that vote. You are the one who sends that member of Parliament to that August House to actually make a bylaw, rather a law for you that determines your everyday life. And to do that and empower us, if you must say, is Manuela Mulondo. Thank you, Manuela, for joining us this morning, for sparing the time. Good morning.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure coming here to UBC.
Right.
And yeah.
Indeed. Now, in that video, I took the time to, the comment section for Ugandans is always the most interesting.
It's the real video.
It's the real video. Somebody in there was like, what about us, the boy child?
Yeah.
But let's start with the hashtags. Yeah. Starting with the hashtag Stop the Count.
Oh, I absolutely love that you asked about that. I'm part of a campaign.
Right.
Gender equality or we need to stop the violence against women. And now is the right time that we need to start thinking about it. Women have a place in this society. There's so much that would have changed in this society if certain women hadn't died, if certain women hadn't been silenced, if certain women had decided they're not going to say anything. There's something that would have changed in our society today, and we need to be mindful of that. So that woman is no longer silenced anymore. And so this campaign is really a campaign to stop violence against women, and it's called Stop the Count. We actually have the opportunity to write to our members of Parliament, the ones that are sitting and the ones that will come in. And we're doing this not only here in Uganda, but also in Kenya, in Tanzania, in East, Central and Southern Africa, where women are saying, especially those of us that have the opportunity to influence, especially on social media, to say, let's stop the count. Let's stop this thing where there's X number of women that have been abducted. There's X number of children that have been involved in child marriage. I mean, 60% of the women in our country, not only just here, in Africa, at least they will find that their home is not safe. Why? Why? 60%. Because you might be abused, you might be, and it doesn't have to be physical, it can be emotional. Just yesterday, right outside our premises, our work premises, a girl was being beaten by a boyfriend right outside our work premises. I said, how is it that violence has no longer, it's not even now being done in the home. A woman is not even safe on the street. When we went to the police and she needed to pick up her clothes, she said, I would rather be naked. But I cannot go to pick up my clothes from that man's house. How is it that we've deteriorated as a society completely, not to see that this girl is somebody's daughter. This girl is a certain woman's child. This girl could be your daughter. This child could be, how have we become so inconsiderate, so bad, so mean, that we will get another human being and want to own that person, that person is ours, just because I've given you 100,000 to do your hair. All of a sudden, I am in charge of your intestines, I'm in charge of your heart, I'm in charge of your body, and I can do with it what you want, what I want. Because you gave me 100,000 to plait my hair. That was meanwhile the fight.
Oh, wow.
Hey, he wants to cut off her hair with a stone.
Wow.
So he's dragging her. Why? How can we be like, what has happened to our society?
And if you painted that way, just for our viewer as well, why it's been zeroed down to the ground level of incidents that happen on a daily, such as what Manuela has stated. It's the fact that society only responds to what comes from the top. It only responds to what kind of law is exercised in the country, and that's how life is taken day in, day out. Now, it's not a matter of who is wrong or who is right or who caused what to lead to what, but how human beings are handled. So clearly, if at all the laws were that strict, if at all the laws were made in Parliament were that strict, I don't think it would have been to an extent of someone feeling the freedom and having all the freedom in the world to beat a human being on the streets of Kampala. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But in that video, you talked about indeed stop the count, stop the violence, and you pinned it to the election season that we have.
Yeah.
Who, in your perspective, is the right person that we must vote?
Can I speak directly to the camera?
Please, this is why you're here.
Ugandans, let's stop thinking political parties. Let's start thinking value systems. Whether you believe as a movementist or you are in it's not a party issue. Ugandans, it's time we started to ask, what is the value system of this person that we are putting in office? Who are they at their very core? What do they truly believe in? They don't even have to, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Where they, it doesn't matter. Whether they subscribe to, I don't know which, whether they are independent, whether they are not. Who is the core of this person? Who are they as a father? Who are they as a mother? Who are they in their home? Who are they? Who truly are they? As in the very core of themselves. We shouldn't be about, I'm going to vote this one just because they're in this party. No, we need to move from that place as a society, as a country. We need to completely move away from partisan politics and start looking at value-based politics. It's time so that we start saying, how did this person who's standing for MP treat his child? We have MPs who leave children in school. How is he going to take care of you? If his own child, he has left him in school. If his own child is being raised by a house girl. If his own child is being, how? If you can't care for the person in your home, how are you going to care for the person outside of your home? It just makes completely no sense.
Right.
You have been in a business, you have not managed that business well, you've not stewarded that business well, but now all of a sudden you're a politician, you've decided you're a politician, we've come to vote you, and just because you're in the political party that I subscribe to, I am now therefore going to vote you. Do you know what it means to have a value-based person in that seat of office? A value-based person who sits in office says, this act that has been brought before us, as with the value system that I have, not because of the party, not because the party has decided we should go left, but based on the right thing to do. We need people with integrity, high levels of integrity. And I'm telling you, if we are going to vote by the color on the poster, we will never have the parliamentarians that we want to have. We'll continue complaining about them. And for me, every time I see us complain about parliamentarians, I'm like, but we are the ones who did it. We are the ones who did it. Right. We had the power to do something different, but we are the ones who did it. Yeah? And let me tell you, even when you say, no, but Manuela, elections are rigged, votes are stolen, and all of those things that we talk about.
Right.
There is a time in life when the 40 lives of a cat are done. That time will come. But we cannot say we are not going to vote just because the elections will be rigged.
Right.
And the way justice works, not just the justice system of this world, even the justice system in heaven, whether you like it or not, that person who's not supposed to be in that seat will not be in that seat. Right. And if we vote based on value, that person will make it. But we can't be, this one is my friend. Most of us, that's how we vote. This one is close to me. If it's not partisan, it is very selfish. This one is my friend. In case I need any help, when he's an MP, I'll get the help. This one is my friend, might have a business. If he gets into the seat, I can. This one is I am part of this NGO. I am the executive director. He'll help me. We are also selfish. There is no difference between us and them.
Indeed. Yeah. Now, please be a part of the conversation. 0709 602592. It's a WhatsApp number. Who should be the right person to vote? It's the election season in Uganda. And right now, today, the primaries are on. And different reasons are being stated for whatever we feel like to vote, but who should be the right person to vote? Manuela Mulondo is here to nudge your mind as to how you vote and later on complain. Now, I asked my producer that we take a short break, and when we return, we'll delve deeper into the conversation. Just engage so that your opinions or questions are read. 0709 602 592. Good morning, Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
This August, Africa gathers again. The passion, the pride, the beautiful game. It's Chan 2025. And the heart of the action, Uganda, the Pearl of Africa stands ready. Not just with a world-class stadium, but with open arms for every African nation. Nambole and its floodlights are already welcoming. From Kampala to Karamoja, our stadium is set. The pitch is perfect, the stage is built, and the spirit of Uganda is unmatched. Come feel the rhythm, taste the warmth, and witness hospitality like no other. Uganda welcomes all of Africa for a Chan like never before. Chan 2025, unity, passion, victory, and it's all happening right here in Uganda. Don't just watch history, be part of it.
Pick of the day on UBC.
He expected me to die like within the first 2 years.
Out of the blue, the child will get pains, especially in the wrists. And this happens commonly when children are starting to walk.
Was brought to you by
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning, Uganda. Now, if you've just joined the show, welcome. Thank you so much for choosing UBC TV. And if you started the show with us, thank you for being on the show. You are watching UBC TV, and we are coming to you live from Nile Avenue. It's the election season, and there's no way we cannot not talk about it. If anything, today it's the primaries for the NRM party as they elect members to represent them at the general elections of 2026 when it comes to the members of parliament. And speaking of members of parliament, they're the very people who make the laws, who pass the laws that govern our daily lives here in Uganda. The conversation is, Who should be the right person to be voted? And Manuela Molondo is here with us to speak into that. Now, about her, she is a gender equality advocate. She is an early childhood enthusiast. She is an author. She is a speaker. She is an entrepreneur. She wears many hats, but all those hats most definitely are governed by a policy in one way or the other in everyday life. And she has all the authority and the expertise to speak into these matters. Like I said earlier on the show, 0709602592 is the WhatsApp number for you to engage and be a part of the show. Somebody comes through and says that according to the situation, nowadays me myself, whoever comes to ask for a vote from me, you should come with money, because I will not eat the roads they claim to construct. And this is where civic education is important for you as an electorate. Do you know why you vote that MP? Will they actually construct that road? Or will they have to lobby on the floor of Parliament for that road to be constructed? Education is important in these matters. Do not sell your rights because of food or because of money. Momon, that is wrong. But anyways, it's not me who's speaking today. It's Manuela. So I think I'm catching. You're catching yourself. I'm catching the passion straight bullets. But Manuela, what would you tell this author, the author of this particular text, according to the situation nowadays? For them, whoever comes to ask for their vote, you must give them money. They won't eat the roads that you're promising to construct.
What's the name of this person so that I know who they are as I address them, as I answer them?
He did not leave. I can tell it's a he from the profile picture. Did not leave a name, but from the WhatsApp ID, what I can see is
it's a gentleman.
Yeah, Zaverian. And he continues to say, seriously, even the laws they claim to make in Parliament are passed by money.
Yeah.
Yes.
How much money is that he needs? And for how many generations will that money, which that MP who he has asked, what are you going to do for me? Who he has not asked, what are you going to do, but has said, you just give me money. How much is it? Because the average amount of money that parliamentarians or potential parliamentarians give does not exceed 100,000. Anonymous. How much? 100,000? This is it. When your child is not able to get a job in the future, when your wife is going to give birth and she has nothing, she can't give birth in a hospital because she needs a cesarean section, or even just a normal birth, and she just cannot have a normal birth because it is too full. When that happens, where is the 100,000? I wish she could respond now and tell me where the 100,000 is, because no one gives 1 million shillings. No one, even if they gave 20 million shillings. Until when? It has where money has, I like what you said, Momon has where it stops.
It has a limit.
Do not be deceived do not be deceived to eat bread, yet someone can give you the wheat seed, so that you can have as much bread as you desire to have in the future. Not only for you, but for your children and your children's children and your children's children's children. The fact that you have decided to sell your soul for 100,000 shillings, 20 million shillings, whatever the amount is for, whatever the amount is, there's a price to pay. You might not pay it, but your children are going to pay it, your children's children. In fact, I dare say we are currently paying the price of our parents' choices. So we have to make that decision and say, no, it has to stop now.
Yeah.
We have to stop this now. For how long are we going to be a developing country? For how long? At what point do we say, no, this has got to stop? Because anyway, now we must have realized from the past, what does money do? Because, and I hate to reference this, but if you've blocked a road and someone has got an accident and died, and yet you're the richest person in Kampala, and you can't bring back a life, where will money, where will it end? So it will give you a meal for today, but it can't save a child who is at the verge of death, who needs oxygen and can't get it because somebody needs money to give your child oxygen. Now, it doesn't even, and you know, I wish that this was only our parliamentarians. The quality of our parliamentarians is a direct reflection of its people.
The society.
So if I am in my own office and I am asking for bribes, there is no difference between me and a parliament. In fact, when we see them, we should just keep quiet. Unless we truly want the change. Yes, we are annoyed with somebody who did something with the people of Karamoja. But you're the company which should have earned a profit and therefore done some CSR to build a hospital somewhere else. You ate the money. There's no difference between you and the parliamentarian who stole money from the hospital. There's really no difference. You're the same, small scale, large scale. And God forbid you enter office, you. Because you'll be worse. The truth is, money doesn't change people. It just shows us who they truly are. Some people don't have money. Because if they had money, we would find out who they truly are. And some people, God is saving us and saying, no, let that one remain poor. Because if they get money, they'll be the worst.
They'll burn the world.
Yeah, they'll burn the world.
Now, the objective of this conversation is to bring it down to a relatable scene so that you see how much of an impact your decision on the ballot causes, especially when it's corrupt, when it's just about the politics, when it's just about the small monies at a grassroots levels of politics. It just shows you, this is just to relate with you, to show you the day-to-day things that you face so that you see the bigger impact of the general elections of 2026 and general elections of any African country. And speaking of African countries, Manuela, let's have a look at the statistics of gender-based violence, especially on the side of women on the continent of Africa.
Oh my. Africa, 4 of the 20 countries with the highest child marriage in the world are in Africa. Other continents have 3, 2, us 4. All 4. And when you look at the statistics, our countries have the, how is it that we're still marrying off girls under 18? Because we want food. Because we want to eat. You would sell the soul of your child. Why did you just not give birth so that you have time to create the wealth? Why didn't you stand and say, you know what, I'm not ready to have a child? We've talked about, they've talked about family planning for so many years. Instead of giving birth to this child who then you sell off for a few bags of posho and beans that will only last you at most 3 years. Why have you given away that child? Why have you let your child go? 42% of women and girls in sub-Saharan Africa will experience either physical or sexual violence in their lifetime.
Is it just adults or women and girls?
Women and girls. 42%.
That's huge.
42%, almost 50. When you put between me and you, one of us has been sexually harassed.
Right.
I'll put up my hand, I have.
Yeah.
You understand?
Right.
Just the 2 of us. We don't need to call any more women in here, but just between me and you. Then I am going with that sexual harassment into a marriage. I'm going with that sexual harassment into raising children. A certain man's children. My husband's children. But I have this past. I have this burden. I have this thing that has been done to me. When you pick 2 women, one of them has been either physically or sexually abused.
Right.
At what point do we say, but no, this isn't okay? Yes, you want to care about the boy child, but the boy child statistics are not like these ones. When you think about it, 60%, a woman is 60% more likely to die inside her own home. How? How? 60% more likely that before you die in an accident, before you die in, more likely it's going to happen in the home. And it can happen. Depression, how many women have we had? She has given birth to this beautiful child. She's struggling with postpartum depression. The man is exerting some more pressure, either through sexual violence or physical violence.
Right.
She's going to die in her home.
True.
60% more likely. How did we reach here as a society?
Right, let me engage some of the comments coming in. It's really such an avalanche of comments, so let's dive straight into it so that it's also sorted now. The anonymous gentleman did come back and said that seriously, you're talking about my children getting jobs. Public service jobs are for Gamba Nogu. I can accept any money because after election, I won't be able to see my MP. That is his conclusion.
Can I respond to
yes,
Anonymous?
Please. Yes, please.
Anonymous, the only jobs available, and I use jobs as an example, they might want to start a business. They might want to become a footballer. They might want to become a netballer. They might want to be, there's so much that they can be. Public service is not the only job opportunity in this country. You can work for a corporate organization. But if your child, there were no laws for Anonymous's child, especially the girl child, to go to school, she can never work at MTN, no matter how much she wants to. She can't work in a good corporate job at MTN. So he has eaten the money, yeah, and left her to chance. What responsibility does he hold? Yeah. Secondly, there are so many people that our public sector, there are some bad people, but there are also some good people. I have witnessed firsthand people who go in to get a job in the public sector and they actually get those jobs. It's not all so bad. No, it's not. I have seen it firsthand that people can get jobs because they are qualified. Our only problem as Ugandans is we believe that as long as you have applied, you must get the job. No, that's not how it works. You have to qualify for this job. You have to be able to have experience for this job. So it's not just about how you have applied, therefore you should get the job. And the truth is, and I'd hate to say this, the Gamba Nogus have also gotten to a place where they are taking their children to be qualified for these jobs.
Yes. Sure.
Now you who's eating the money of the Gamba Nogu who wants to enter parliament, are you aware that the Gamba Nogu is taking his child for oil and gas studies? The Gamba Nogu is taking his child for public health degrees. They are now qualified so that you can no longer say no. Now when that point reaches, what are you going to say? What are you going to tell your child? That no, it's just for Gamba Nogus, but when you look at their CVs look like, yes, they should be there. So now it's no longer that. They had us, and they are switching things around. They are changing things. Even when they're in the army, they are going to school. They are getting PhDs. They are getting doctorates. Right. They are not playing anymore. They had. And now they're like, hey,
they've generated another window.
Yes,
where you can't
they've generated until you complain.
And you talked about public service jobs. Uganda has about 338 individuals employed. About that number, 38,000 employees in the public service. So clearly, about all the 4 point something million Ugandans can't be.
We all can't be employed. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, not 4 million. Oh yes, 4. Yes. Those who are working. Yes.
Yes. Exactly. Now, good morning, Uganda. This is Benjamin at Busia. I also second Mrs. Molondo. Today is the primaries of NRM. I see all these people that are standing, bribing women with funny amounts of 5,000 Uganda shillings, 3,500. But after someone spends 5 years without any milestone moved, then it all comes back to me and you. Thank you very much, Benjamin from Busia. And somebody else comes through and says, good morning, UBC. This is Isaac Wanzala, Wanzax Aizo in West Nile. A person who has been, I beg you to clarify. I don't think I get it. But it's like you're saying a person who has been probably sexually abused before.
Okay.
Intelligent, empathetic is a right candidate to be voted. Is that what you mean? Please correct so that I'm able to deliver the right message that you want to put across. Good morning, Julie. This is OJ from Mayuge District. I support her view because most people have turned politics into a business and forgotten their roles. That's why people giving them 5K for 5 years. That's why people are giving them 5K. 5,000 Uganda shillings for 5 years.
5 years. That's 1,000 shillings per day, per year. Divide by 12 months. How much is that? It's so little. It's so little.
Okay, good morning. As usual, this is Owechiti Wakabi Muzafaru Isabidi from Mafubida C-Cell, NRM Publicity. This program is a wow. Good morning, Uganda. I'm Ondaro Vincent from Morukatipe, Tororo. The electorate should vote for a candidate who can represent their views, provide services closer to them, but not the one who can buy your vote with soap and salt.
Yeah.
Your vote is bigger than soap, salt, or money.
Yeah.
Helen, this is Helen Sembera, and she is an early childhood trainer as well. She says, there are many factors indeed about the violence before, during, and after elections, and who should be the right person. Number one, security begins with us as a people, with you as an individual, so we should apply wisdom. Lack of education, and 3, spiritual aspects is also needed. It's quite the text, but I think we get the message. I'll engage it as we go on, but for purposes of time, let's also hear more from Manuela. Manuela, tell us, are there any civil groups or NGOs that you're partnering with to push this campaign?
Before I even go to those, to the NGOs, to the civic groups, because there are many, yeah, I have to start with myself. I am my first non-governmental organization.
Right.
As an individual. After me is my home. What do I represent? Because I can't work with them unless I agree as an individual, and unless my home and my family agrees with me on where my vision is, or where my heart is for women. My husband agrees. He says, yes, I see it. I see the violence. I see it. And I agree with you being able to stand up for women. So before I go to any non-governmental organization, me, my home, yeah, my family. And then I can think about people like UN Women, with the European Commission. Those are the 2 NGOs we're working with now. But they're not the only ones around Africa that are doing this work. Ultimately, NGOs can only do so much. It's me and you who have to take the work further. It's me and you who have to say, all an NGO can do is say, please, Manuela, speak about stopping this violence.
Yes.
But it's me who has to, when I come outside my gate and I find a woman being beaten, I am the one who sorts it out. European Commission doesn't come. UN Women doesn't come to sort out the issue that I had yesterday with a man and a woman. Raymond and Mercy, I remember them so well because this happened just last evening. They are not there. I am there.
Right.
The people around us are there. The police is there. We are the ones that are there. So yes, so right now it's UN Women and European Commission, and we're doing this in East and Southern Africa. Yes.
So let's bring, I love that this conversation has been so relatable. It's going to the grassroots and speaking into the day-to-day matters.
Yes.
Of us who vote, the electorate, the very people who vote. We face these incidents, we face these issues in our lives. We see them, even aside violence. But when you lack anything, when you go to a hospital and there is no medicine, when you go to, it's because you made a choice, you made a decision, and that was very corrupt from the beginning. So let's tell us how you think Omuntu Wawansi, ordinary person, ordinary Ugandan, day-to-day human being, Ugandan, should be a part of this, especially in this season as we are walking the election journey.
Yeah. I think the first place we need to go is, especially the middle class, we need to talk to the lower class. Because they're in our villages. They're where we get housemaids from. They're where we go every Christmas. Can we as the middle class decide this Christmas, this Easter, this time when I go to look for land, this time when I go to look at my farm, at my trees, and I go down to meet that man, can I talk to him? And ask him who he's voting and why he's voting him. And if it is a partisan decision, ask him deeper questions. So that this man at the complete grassroots, because he might not be watching this show. The middle class are the ones watching this show. And that's why I want to first start this, addressing this question by talking to the middle class who's watching this show. When you talk to him, or when you talk to her, deep down in the village, something on the inside of her changes. We need a complete and total mindset change. We need to realize that the people we are putting in office are servants.
Right, yes. They are serving.
They are there to serve you, me. They are there to give me a service. Before you come and protest on the road and at Parliament because the road in your constituency has not been built, first go and protest in your meetings on the village council, with the local council. First start there and put pressure. The problem with many of us is we think that pressure means we are so many. No, pressure means I go, you go, he goes, she goes. It's a thing that they can't stop hearing, and it keeps going on and on and on and on and on and on.
Right.
But then it also means that are we aware that it is our right, civil right, to write an email to our member of parliament and say, I don't like. That's why, even for Stop the Count, we have an email that's writing to our parliamentarians. If 300 emails are coming through, if 1,000 emails are coming through, I mean, if all the people who decided to go for a musician's concert can just decide to all write an email, because you've all gone to the concert. We see you deep down in the village there, 20,000 people have gone to see a musician. If that musician said, but now let us, what is the issue here? Thirdly, leadership is not only for the person in parliament. Me and you are leaders. A musician is a leader.
And we are the government.
We are. If he says now all of us, we are going to write a message to your member of parliament and say, we need that. All of you who are here, who have paid this money, let's do this because we need this road. I don't want office. I'm happy to be Bebe Cool. I'm happy to be a singer. I'm happy to be Rema. I'm happy to be any singer. Bugembe, actually, his concert is coming soon.
In August.
In August. I'm Bugembe. I'm a musician. I'm happy to be a musician. But this thing that is happening in Kampala, it needs to stop. And we need to be able to communicate. We don't need to be there physically. We can send WhatsApps. We can all send, if we can all write messages on TikTok, we can record videos, we can write posts, wonderful Twitter, English votes, quotes on Twitter about how bad the system is in general. I think let us now start being very particular. Let us say the road on. Why do I say that? It has worked before. Do you remember when we complained about national water?
Yes.
It cleaned up. It cleaned up.
Even
when we complained about the road.
The pothole, pothole exhibition.
Thank you.
On Twitter.
When we decide as a country and say, but now let us complain about this thing, all of us, wherever we are. It's not only protesting. No. When I come to your party, as you're an MP, you've invited me for your birthday party, I'm asking, so this road, this Chira Kasangati road, what's going on with this road? When I go inside the lift, I find, hey, MP, hello, how are you? The road. We have to stop fangirling our MPs. Right. We see them and we get so excited because you think he's going to come up with a sack of money and he's going to give it to you. No, we need to hold him accountable right there in the lift. Not, madam, but I guess, it needs to stop. He's an MP, so what? He's here
so
to
in other
serve
words,
us.
In other words, we are not meant to worship them because in the first place we assigned them.
We are the ones who put them there.
They are supposed to worship us.
They are supposed to be like Banange, the one who voted me, Chichiche what. Even if you didn't vote me, I want you to vote me next time. But what is it that you need? It needs to we need to change. They need to see themselves as the servants, the public servants that they are. And we need to see ourselves as the people who put them where they are. We can't say we put them where they are and then we act like we've served them. I put you where I am now. Then when he comes to your party, he has to sit in front.
Manuela, we'll need to have you back in studio so that you indeed speak and nudge us more as the electorate to vote right. The conversation has been who should be the right person to be voted, and Manuela Molondo is the person who has been speaking to us. Now, the comments are really, really, really many. But in the interest of time, let's allow this conversation come to a close because there's still more. We still have the agenda, and I think I'll close with this one. You are actually the legislature, right? The legislature, the arms of government start start with Parliament, but you send the members of Parliament to that August House. And did you know that you're allowed to attend sessions of...
Right.
Yes. You're allowed to attend. You're allowed to speak into these matters.
Yeah.
And whatever is passed at the floor of Parliament, as by you, started with you, is implemented, is put into law by the judiciary and is implemented by the executive. That's how it's supposed to work. That's why the government is for the people and by the people as it starts. But let's bring this to a close, and I'll just recommend a book. There's a book by an author, a Kenyan author. It's titled Is Africa Cursed? If that book, and it's a Christian author, by the way, the author is Tokunbo Adeyemo. Kenyan, but it's very informative. I wish you could read it before you engage in any electoral exercise. But today, go vote, but let what Manuela has said right now go ringing at the back of your mind as you go to queue behind your candidate for the NRM primaries. Good morning, Uganda. We're still on the show, and it still goes on. The primaries will also be brought to you live. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
He expected me to die like within the first 2 years.
Out of the blue, the child will get pains, especially in the wrists. And this happens commonly when children are starting to walk.
Was brought to you by...
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know. You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Uniquely ours. Explore Uganda.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
This August, Africa gathers again. The passion, the pride, the beautiful game. It's Chan 2025. And the heart of the action, Uganda, the Pearl of Africa stands ready, not just with a world-class stadium, but with open arms for every African nation. Nambole and its floodlights are already welcoming. From Kampala to Karamoja, our stadium is set. The pitch is perfect, the stage is built, and the spirit of Uganda is unmatched. Come feel the rhythm, taste the warmth, and witness hospitality like no other. Uganda welcomes all of Africa for a Chan like never before. Chan 2025, unity, passion, victory, and it's all happening right here in Uganda. Don't just watch history, be part of it.
taxation is a bit complicated, and the only way to demystify it and make it as easy to understand and to comply with is through engagement. Is there a limit to the number of cars a returning citizen is bringing into Uganda? Who has paid the excise duty on this water is not the supermarket which has sold you this bottle at 1,000. It's not the business. It is the man who is going to drink this water. We strongly believe that it will only be through such constructive engagement that we'll be able to broaden our tax base and build our country together.
Buza Kamiso now. Now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
The government's mandate is to maintain law and order, safeguard citizens' rights, and provide essential public services.
Remember, one of the pillars of a roadmap is innovation and entrepreneurship.
There has been this question of how are you protecting our indigenous seed?
It's going to be a tall project that answers somebody's question.
For the past 20 weeks, the front bench has brought you insightful discussions on governance, security, healthcare, justice, and commerce.
Why do you go through this complicated procedure, involve the lawyers? You bring the case against him, the judge will hear you out and pass judgment, and you're out of court in record time.
We remain committed to keeping you informed and engaged on key national matters.
So these are huge, these are powerful organizations which now Uganda chairs. Why don't you come together?
If we haven't migrated to the e-card because of various reasons, including that not all the people of Uganda have smartphones.
You can sit in your house, apply for a passport. If you have a Ugandan who has a successful logistics firm in the US, it means he can come to Uganda and do a lot more.
Now airing every Monday at 8:30 p.m. with me, Jethro Kasaiji, your interface with the government only on your public broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model, PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, it is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko, I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. But what you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. Genda yangu wa.
PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
A lovely morning to you, and thank you so much for being with us on UBC TV. Welcome to Good Morning Uganda Agenda. I'm Robert Chirabonyonyi. This morning, when we are seeing the NRM primaries kick off across the country, now we have about 2,777 candidates, people who are contesting for this parliamentary seat. And the winner, we hope they'll choose the best and have very peaceful elections. Now, joining me on set this morning to discuss the involvement of communities in fighting crime is the police commissioner in charge of community policing, that is Anatoly Moletera. Afand.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
How are you?
Fine.
They say a policeman is a friend.
Can I say Happy New Year? Because I've taken a while without seeing you.
But I usually
Have you been outside Uganda?
I've been around and working every day.
You look one who has been maybe, but you know the conditions in Uganda. There is nothing that can really strive you to say you are leaving Uganda.
Definitely, there wouldn't be so many reasons why.
Yeah, sure. Unless you have your judges disturbing you, but as of now, there is everything that you can take to make yourself.
When people are being frauded of monies because they are told they are being taken to Canada.
No, but that is your own choice. It is your own choice. Do you want to tell me that I am here? I've never thought of going to Canada. Am I not making a living here?
You are making a living.
Yeah, I may not serving. I may not making a contribution. You know, let me tell you, even our esteemed viewers there, consistency in life is very important. You must have a line through which you want to pursue. But that zigzagging in life sometimes. Good morning, Ugandans. Happy being here. You know, it is always the man of Robert who doesn't want. You know, greeting is a very important thing in life. So our esteemed listeners, viewers there, all out there, you're most welcome. We are here for the show.
To begin with, when we talk about community policing, what do we refer to?
There are two coined words there. Community policing. Police working the community or community working the police. But it is the community working the police because the community is organic. A community are people living together in a loosely geographical area with similarities, maybe speaking one language or many dialects, but of which they share something a lot in common. And with that sharing a lot in common, there is also friction which can be able to develop. So along that friction, there is always a desire to pursue a common ground so that life can continue. And that is then the element of policing. Policing is maintaining a level of safety and security together in conformity with the law, but without maybe you going overboard the law, and ensuring that peace and security prevails in that community. When we talk about policing, policing now involves both the community and people in uniform, or not specifically those in uniform, but those entrusted with the maintenance of law and order. Whereas policing generally involves a lot. But the police per se, our main role is maintaining law and order for the promotion and sustainability of safety and security. Whereas policing involves both the law, order, identification of problems that can cause the disorder, and setting solutions to those problems. Now, when you sit together, the community and the police, you are conducting community policy.
Thank you for that elaborate explanation on that. Now, this takes me to our topic this morning, that is involvement of the community in combating crime. First and foremost, Anatoly, how is the relationship of police and the community in your personal analysis? Because then they can't work together if the relationship is not that standing.
The relationship, by and large, is good. Because one fundamental thing, you know, there are certain things which people tend to come and satirize. You know, I better work with this one and not this one. The relationship between the police and the community is generally good. For one thing, the police comes from the community. Not the police comes from the community. Not the community coming from what?
From the police.
The police. And therefore, that has become an entry point for the people to recognize that whatever we do on their behalf, and we do in a delegated manner. Two, it is even more qualified by the number of people who seek for support, who seek for partnership, who support us in preventing crime. They give reports. They do not only give reports, they provide joint efforts of patrolling, of giving information, and even securing area security within their area of living. So this makes us, by and large, you see the problem with some people, they move on perception. But when you go on quantifying certain aspects of life and seeing how police relates with the community, I want to tell you, we can stand at 80%. Because of a number of parameters. One, you see the people coming to report to the police, people donating things to police, people participating with us, people coming and interacting with us, and people associating with you on a daily basis. So that really makes us very grounded. However, this is really where I want to call upon my fellow police officers. Do not take this uniform for granted and therefore desire to undermine it before the community. Because fundamentally, there is a lot of high expectation from the community when we put on this uniform to serve them.
And I love that, because I was just going to remind you that when we look at the human rights reports, they show so much violation of human rights by police. When we look at the corruption index in government entities, we look at police as ranking top. So that is not that very good. But since you reminded your men and women in uniform that there is so much we expect of them, let me not open up Pandora's box.
No, you can open, because you see, when we talk about corruption, it is not something that somebody can be able to deny. Yes, the most fundamental point is what is causing corruption. Who gives out corruption, or who gives out a bribe to a policeman? Why do you talk about a policeman being corrupt, but you don't look at the one who is giving a policeman a bribe? I want to see an independent report of those who conduct a perception index, because some of those findings are based on perception. I want them to come out and give out the perception. Do you mean to say, I would want to say, that report is balanced, if at all the corruption is within a police and a police, because that would say police is high. But if it is a Mwananchi or any other person giving the police, where are you putting, where is this person who is giving the policeman money? Where is that, where is it reflected in that?
Maybe by training they expect the policeman not to partake of the bribe, resist it. I've ever seen some police officers have resisted this bribe and stuck to the rule of law.
It is good you have said you are a very good Christian. Do you know the day when Jesus was, as he was being commissioned into his mission, he went for temptation to test their zeal, their resiliency. And one of the answers, when Satan told him, please, if you can believe in me, You can look at all that kingdom, and I will give it to you. Do not put the Lord God to test. In most instances, if you think you want police services, don't put us to test.
You may highly fail. Now,
because, you know, we are human beings. In the course of events, it's just like when you put butter near heat. What happens?
Of course,
it melts. So there are instances even when humanity overrides. They are given Jesus. Jesus was a supernatural human being. But humanity, in most times, prevailed over his supernatural. He cried. He felt hungry. He was sad. He was lonely. It means that humanity, there is no way you can be able to deny certain things out of that. So I want to call upon all of those. If you are dealing with us and you want to call us corrupt, try to look at other perimeters that surround this corruption, especially for some of you who are angels and want to judge us all the time. Where are you? Where are you? But secondly, have you ever found out yourself, you ask yourself, where do these corrupt police officers whom you are talking about and singing as if you are being paid? Do you want to tell me that these the so-called corrupt police officers come from heaven? They are part of the community. So as you judge us so, judge the community from which these police officers come. The police as an institution does not produce anybody. You are the people who produce. A person who joins police at the age of 17. I mean at the age of 18, at the age of 25. But now imagine, if for example somebody began campaigning by buying sweets in a school, in a primary, by then these days they even start in nursery, to campaign and begin giving out sweets.
Let me just inform our viewer that anytime from now, we'll be moving to Sembabule town where we have Onyango, and he will be giving us a feel of what is happening. Remember, Sembabule is one of those hotspots that were highlighted by the chairperson of the NRM Electoral Commission. And our very own Onyango is there, and anytime we'll be moving there just to have a feel of what is happening. Today, the NRM primaries are kicking off, and we are having 2,777 people in the race to secure the NRM party flag. And this is in 519 constituencies across the country. Now, who will be the lucky ones at the end of the day? UBC TV will be giving you all the coverage to update you with what is happening. And anytime from now, Onyango will be joining us live from Sembabule. Yes, Anatoly.
Yes. So I want to call upon everybody all out there. Please trust us. And I'm not saying that you don't trust us. You trust us, by the way. And you have no any other person to begin measuring us against, because we are not competitors. We are not competitors. Our mandate is not competing with anybody, but we are complementary and we need to work with each other.
Now let's go into issues of politics. Anatoly, today being one of those days when we are going to witness the NRM primaries kick off, Dr. Tango Doi and the Secretary General assured me that 10 people must have converged to begin the baraza. Now, how prepared is police to handle this, more so in these areas that have been demarcated or identified as hotspots?
You see, you bring this subject better to the understanding of those who are listening. Because people will begin saying, hey, now they have brought police to begin discussing politics. I want to inform those who are listening and reviewing this. Yes?
You're discussing your role as far as maintaining law and order.
I am anchoring my role in politics. Politics is not an isolation, and I'm not an isolation. Just like you are a human being. Are you here naked?
No, I'm putting on.
Yes. So you cannot be a human being who is complete. Must appear the way you are. So this is what I'm talking about. When we talk about politics and policing, first of all, David Easton, one of those great fathers of politics, defined politics loosely as the means to influence, to mobilize, to organize, and distribute resources. And therefore, when you bring that subject matter to a policeman here, especially me, it anchors well in my mandate because I must mobilize, I must influence, I must ensure harmony. Does that sound bad?
Doesn't sound bad, though.
Does it sound out of what you wanted?
Unfortunate, sometimes you've been pointed to as the source of commotion and chaos.
If we are so, why don't those who are said to be pointing at us, why don't they exonerate themselves by not coming near where chaos are? I am here. I am talking to you. I will give out my number. Now, if somebody calls me and I respond, do I become part of that?
Yeah, look, we are talking about the political atmosphere that sometimes people believe that your presence, and I want you to clarify, I'm asking you this because people need clarification. Some are just even confused. When they see your presence at a voting area, many begin getting suspicious, others get scared. Now also you bring in your brothers and sisters from the UPDF that the law provides for. So sometimes people either misunderstand your presence or you yourselves violate.
Yeah, it can be possible, but it is not the routine. I want to inform our esteemed listeners that in an election, be it the general elections, we are a support organ. We support the Electoral Commission. For example, we support the NRM Electoral Commission in as far as organizing. By organizing, we are not sorting out the votes, but by organizing, putting people to order. Please don't cause violence. That is organization. Please, when you move, go away. You are finished. That is organization. So there are instances when you may desire to bring your motive, to insinuate your motive. And when that time is not possible, it's not there. So there we shall put you to order because it is within our role. What I want to assure fellow Ugandans all out there, the Uganda Police Force as called upon by the chairman NRM, Electoral Commission. We are ready, we are set. First of all, we have zoned the country into 9 zones. And all those 9 zones are being commanded by senior police officers from AIGPs to commissioner, and they are there. Besides there, we have another layer of command, the RPCs. Besides that, we have another layer of commanders.
Let me just cut you short. We shall come back to that. Let's first go to Zimbabwe town and hear from Robert Onyango there. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Well, we can see, at least we can see that is Zimbabwe town, and that is the Uganda Prison Services, Uganda Prison, Zimbabwe. Yes?
Well, good morning, our viewers of UBC TV. This is Robert Onyango, and we are coming to you live from Zimbabwe district. Of course, this is the day we have all been waiting for. We have been preparing and expecting what exactly the NRM primaries for parliamentary elections will look like. And of course, here in Zimbabwe, we will be keeping the whole day to at least monitor what will be the day, because we have seen a very chaotic election, campaign process. But of course, today, our security has assured us that Emmanuel Rashande is up with the incumbent Theodore Sechkubo to at least make sure that they convince the voters of this constituency to at least choose one of the two. But of course, it is a 5-man race where we will at the end of the day get one winner. Here, the security situation is very calm. We have been assured that indeed police with other sister agencies have ensured that at least the voters in this district will entirely and freely choose who they want to carry the NRM flag at the end of the day. This is the update we want to give you, that voting is not yet on. We are told that according to the guidelines of the NRM party that voting will commence at 10 a.m. Of course, they will start with joint barazas where all the voters are required to be at the polling stations. And this particularly means these polling stations for NRM party has always said that they have almost voting at every village, and every village in this case is a polling station. So the voters will be required to be as 30 or 10, if not be at this polling station to ensure that they see who is supposed to participate in this election, because they are going to vote by lining up behind portraits or even candidates if they wish to appear at one or two polling stations to be voted at different levels. The voting here in Zimbabwe will happen in the 5 constituencies. I think this is including the woman member of parliament slot, and we have Maogola North, we have Maogola West, we have Wemiyaga, then we have Maogola North and the woman member of parliament election. This is what UBC will be giving you for the entire day here until we are told, we are given the results of the day. That's when we shall leave Zimbabwe district. After voting, which will commence at exactly midday and expected according to the NRM guidelines to wind up at 2 p.m., then we expect results starting from 4 or 5 going above. But we are told the tallying across the entire country will be hosted or held at every district headquarters. So there will be no results declarations in the field or in sub-counties or at parish levels, though at every polling station the requirement is that every polling station will declare the results of that polling station, then give the declaration forms to all the agents of the candidates, but of course tallying and declaring who has won where, that one will be happening in the evening at the district headquarters. Like I said earlier, the race here to keep your eyes on is that of Wemiyaga County, where the incumbent member of parliament, Theodore Sechikubo, is tussling it out with other 4 candidates who want to grab a flag from him so that they can carry the mantle of the NRM party in the coming general elections. It is the NRM primaries, and for UBC, we are here in Zimbabwe. Of course, we will be giving you every dot of the arrangements, every dot of the update in as far as the Zimbabwe elections is concerned. Security-wise, all is still at normal, but I guess they have also advanced in preparing to ensure that this is entirely a peaceful election. We know they have had a very chaotic campaign process, but of course there have been so many things to iron out to ensure that at least at the end of the day they give us a very peaceful process, and the winner or the loser will be willing also to ensure that at least they operate in a safe place. And the updates we have for you as of this morning, then we will be getting back to you at around 10 a.m. That's when we shall be dropping ourselves at different polling stations to ensure that we give you whatever will be happening in as far as today's elections is concerned. It's the NRM election primary day, and UBC is on ground.
Well, thank you so much, Robert Onyango in Zimbabwe there. It's not been that very easy during the 2 weeks of campaigning between, that is the Wemiyaga constituency, that is the incumbent, Theodore Sechikubo, and of course, the retired general there, Emmanuel Rashande. But so far, it seems peace and everything is calm. But don't forget, the activity starts at 10. The real activity will start at 10 with the baraza there, then identifying who is in the yellow book. Then they go to the voting area. Then after they have been identified, they will line behind the candidate of their choice, or a portrait or the campaign agent of that particular candidate in that particular village, because it's from village level. Now, very interesting, today. And I am with the Commissioner of Police in charge of community policing, Anatoli Muletera, with whom we are still looking at the role of police, because we want to see how they are working with the community to fight crime. Now, for this particular time, it is election, how they are working. But let's also look at some of the areas maybe where there has been either misinformation or police has acted beyond its mandate and caused havoc and chaos. Now, Anatoly, what is the role of police at a polling station? What is your role there?
You know, you are grabbing me. In your own interest, you want me to begin frog jumping. I was still giving you our layer of security at the ground.
Okay, go ahead.
So I was telling you that we have zoned the country into nine zones. And each of those zones has a zonal commander.
High ranking.
Very high ranking officers. Then we have the RPCs, we have the DPCs, then we have even the OCs. Now, these ones are working in tandem with the district security committees, which is headed by the RDCs or RCCs in those respective areas, plus other security agencies, including our sister security agency of the UPDF and the prisons. Now, definitely in Uganda, we have tendencies where people want to undermine, deliberately undermine. As I talk to you, we were able to intercept, across the country, we were able to intercept people who were failing. Some of these candidates were failing people. And we are screening them. They were failing them from one place to another. And when we do that, we do it for one reason. If you know that you have an agent who is, for example, let's assume this is UBC village, and you are a candidate in, say, Nakasero 2, why would you desire to pick people from Chambogo to bring them to UBC village?
As your agents.
As your agents.
Because in that area you don't have agents, people you can trust.
But why? I thought agents are those who know the area, who know everybody, who are going to represent your interest ably by identifying that, no, Muletero, you are not a resident here. No, Chirabo, you are not a resident here. No, Chirabo, you are being bribed. How do you begin failing? And this is where we come in. And that is where our major role is. One, identification of crime-prone areas, identification of wrong criminal elements, or people who are insinuated to cause chaos, who are non-residents, but upon which we get it from our intelligence. So we have been able to intercept a number of people in vehicles, and they are across some of our districts, which I will not be able to mention, but of which I've had those records. So I want to call upon all those. Then other things. One, even at the polling station, we are not directly there at the polling station to say, you go here. But if there is a cordoning off, that please, anybody who has to access, say where Mr. Chirabo is seated, pass here. You cannot go in and have your own entry. If there is an access, so the police ensures control of what we call access control. Are you orderly? Do you want to pass from everywhere and come and begin hulating or whatever? Two, and most important, we provide security to the voting material and the officers who are entrusted with the mandate, including, when we talk about the officers, including your own agent, the official agents. And that's why the chairman was very clear and categorical. If you are to appoint Muleterwa, let Muleterwa bear a letter with your photo on it. So that when you are introducing to the presiding officer, Mr. Nyonyi Ntono, he says, this is Muleterwa representing who? Say maybe Ponsian or so. And so, okay, fine. This is what. Now, sit. So, if there is anything, any security there, the police provides, including your own LM agent there to protect you. Then, during the time of voting,
Which is by lining this time.
Yes, which is by lining. You must be able to be orderly. That is where now our orderliness comes in. I hope now you have known that the police is very essential. Are you trying to crisscross? Are you trying to pull this one? Are you trying to? We said, no, 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 that is not what is part of this. If you are taking, please, our esteemed listeners there, when you are at a voting center, you are taking your vote only. You are not taking other people's votes, and therefore don't go there and say, no, you are my neighbor. Please, why don't you support this one? Your neighbor, that is very good. He or she has an independent mind to choose a person of his or her own choice. And when that is done, the police gives again room. That is when now they have finished voting. It gives room to the presiding officer to begin counting. Muletero this, Nyonyi Ntono this, Muletero this. When you say, no, 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 that is not your role. Still police will say, no, please, you have finished yours. You can either go and be outside the perimeter or go home. After all, you have done your work. Leave this too, because already your interest is represented by the agents. The representatives, by the way, let me tell you, this is where some people fail to understand. Either they don't want to understand, or they fail to understand, or they do both. When you are voting, and voting for Muleterwa, Muleterwa appoints an agent. This agent represents two parties. He represents you, his supporters, and he represents Muleterwa in his absence. And even if I'm not there, even if I'm there, I still have agents there. Therefore, there is no need for you to be around unless otherwise you think it is vital. Go and do what you think is more relevant to you. Because let's stop making voting a do or die.
People want to witness the counting.
No problem.
And if because someone can count 1, 2, then 8,
no,
10, 20.
Listen, when one is counting, he's not counting alone. He's counting with even you agents. He's counting 1. Are you blind? Is this an exercise of the blind? 1, 2. So is he moving from 2 to 4? And even then you are also moving and seeing through your eyes. You are screening. So I want to call upon people, please, let's trust those whom we have appointed. Let's trust and ensure that we support our police. Let's trust and ensure that we support the Electoral Commission in doing its own mandate. We shall not have all the mandate to do the same. You know the Baganda say, Amamesa amani tegesi mirabuchi. Bunya. So you cannot desire to be a voter and you want to become even a presiding officer. You want to become a police officer. You want to do everything. No, 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 no. Now, coming to the question you asked me, you think I have forgotten. What is the role of the police? We have 2 major roles: law enforcement and public order management.
You enforce the law
and manage public order. Now, under law enforcement, we conduct the following. We conduct investigations. We conduct arrests. We conduct prosecution. You get me? Under public order management, we conduct sensitization. What I'm doing right now, I am doing public order management.
Sensitization.
Sensitization. Intelligence gathering. Partner up with the community. That is working closely with the community. Ensuring that the information we get is sensitized into intelligence to cause what we call intelligence-led operations. So in this respect, therefore, when there is a disorder, law enforcement must take place. But the first role of the police is public order management. And under public order management, we have FFU,
Field force unit.
Yes. They are there. They even want, if you want to become disorderly, they make a public declaration.
Fanya fujo.
That's not the declaration.
That is the unit.
An officer of a rank above AIP is entrusted to make a public order, a public declaration. When he's seeing that there is a disturbance of public peace, or what we call breach of public peace. So he declares and says, the declaration is giving you caution. Please, he's even appealing to you. Please, members all out there, leave this place and go to your either lawful business or go home. Any further breach of public peace shall invite the use of force, including the use of a firearm. You know, this is where some of you want to begin questioning us. Why are you using a firearm? It is our tool of duty. We are not using cups. We are not using plates. We are not using bow and arrow. Our tools of duty as the police include a firearm,
now,
which is there by law.
I found Anatole.
Present.
In enforcing law and order, there is where we've had a term known as excessive force, unreasonable force being applied. We are in the electoral season. Today we are having elections where the public believes that maybe you people go overboard. If people are disorganized, why would you come with tear gas and tear gas them? Isn't there a better way of handling things? We saw in the Kawen paper, but excessive force. Now, police being seen as a source of peace, refuge, now it's in some incidents because of the excessive force applied, as you're here talking about having a gun as one of your tools. But don't you think sometimes you go overboard and use excessive force, unreasonable force?
My brother and those listening.
Because these are peaceful people who have come to vote. If there are things that have, why would we see you firing live ammunition then and all that?
My brother and those listening and viewing, these incidences are very regrettable because none of us, including me, who may desire to apply tear gas on you, I don't desire it because at the end of the day, it also affects me. But there are scenarios where you realize you must save life. You must protect property. You must ensure that order is restored. What do you do? Those are circumstances that attract this. However, I would want you to guide those who are listening. You know, Robert, don't mix. Don't think that this is a program for Katogo. This is a program which is consistent.
No doubt about it.
Please don't.
But you must clarify certain issues.
Don't make my program with you, Katogo.
Anatoli, you must clarify certain issues so that the public has the right information from you.
Now,
otherwise, now I'm representing the public here.
This is the right information.
And it is you to clarify.
This is the right information, and please replicate it. That tear gas is only desired as a last resort. Our first line of public order management, which I even clarified here, under public order management, we have the FFU. As a way to engage the community, when the community is turning to be rowdy, there is a public declaration. I hope you heard that. 2, there is community engagement by the CLOs. 3, we have our personnel in plain clothes who are gathering intelligence, and they feed operation that please, if you don't get up early, there is a disorder happening here. So this does not mean, you see, the way you are making a presentation is as if we come from nowhere and begin tear gas. No. Tear gassing is applied as a last resort in circumstances where you people have failed to abide to lawful order. Somebody can say, who is that one who gives order? By the way, when a policeman is giving an order, especially from the rank of an AIP, he's giving it as per the law. As per the law, he's representing the head of the state.
Not
No, these are things you can because
No,
after all,
no,
whether you
this
like
is
it
the
or
law. This is the law, yes.
whether you like it or not, let me even assure you, plus those listening, I belong to the executive arm of government. So
I also belong to the fourth estate.
thank you, but that one will come later on. So when we are doing whatever we are doing, please move on with that. Now, you have brought the element of excessive force, which I want our listeners to listen properly. Excessive force can only come in, one, you have succumbed to a lawful order. Then upon succumbing to a lawful order, the police in his wisdom begins to beat you. He has told you, please go away from here. Then he's again following you. You have complied, you have moved away. He's following you. All of a sudden, after following you, he's tear gassing you. But you have shown signs that you have complied. That one can be termed as excessive order. I mean, excessive force. Two, he has told you, you are under arrest. You have complied. You have given in yourself. He's taking you. In the course of taking you, all of a sudden, he begins kicking you, boxing you, doing everything. That is excessive force. Three, he sees you, you are not armed. You have even surrendered and you have, now he's pursuing you, shooting at you, using live bullets. That is excessive force. But while you judge as so, look at circumstances when a policeman is being battered. Nyonyi Ntono, as you belong to the fourth estate, have you ever represented any sympathy for a policeman to realize that this man is a man? One, I told you we come from the community. We have families. We are in-laws. What we eat from you. And I am executing whatever means on your own behalf. But you tend to batter us. The policeman is saying, please, go away. You are throwing stones at him. You are battering him. When you see that he's one or two, you go live. Even when he's trying to shoot in the air, you still go ahead and confront him. Look at scenarios. You see, this is where we are becoming immoral. Immoral. Either because you think you are too many, so you will always be able to subdue us with your voices. Look at circumstances. I did not hear any of you Ugandans condemning acts of violence which were turned against our policemen in Kapchorwa, in Ibanda. Do you think we are not human beings? Do you think those policemen who lost their lives, did they lose their lives because they were protecting their own interests there? Now, what did you term that? You term excessive. Now, what about a policeman who loses life in your hands? Even when you know he's on duty and whatever he's even protecting is yours.
Unfortunate statistics differ. If you are to look, it is very unfortunate and very regrettable. But if you are to look at civilians who have lost lives in issues of stray bullets, in issues of these riots,
and you are a journalist and you have
vis-a-vis the police officers, the statistics may not be in tandem. However, all death is regrettable.
Anyway, there is no wrong that can make a right. In all circumstances, let's get united and condemn it. I don't need, I'm giving you this scenario so that we can have an introspective debate and have a balanced view. And saying, you know, the baseline of my discussion with you is, whom does Uganda belong to? We are all Uganda. That is the baseline. Don't begin judging, justifying whether there are too many statistics. Who would desire to have a life lost?
None. None.
So why do you think that we should now begin
but
comparing?
But we have people who are
statistics?
Who are mandated to protect life and property under our constitution.
It is a condemnation once they go beyond what they are supposed to do.
Now, on professional basis, that is why Ugandans cling to and say, was this professional enough? As we are entering 2026, as today NRM is holding their primaries, we expect the stewards of law and order to maintain law and order. Much as also Ugandans, you have your responsibility to be law-abiding. as well.
By then, let me tell you, as the police and as security, we are not participating in elective politics by standing.
No, no, no.
We are providing security for everybody. And therefore, our key entry into this is that we need to dialogue with you and ensure that when you go there to represent your interests as a person, you know, we have people who have always, you know, the majority have told me, let me vote. Which majority is that? If you are for the majority, then you listen to their voices. Because I doubt whether the majority want chaos. So I want to call upon you. If you so think that you are representing the majority, as you want to contest, please always go there to assume that the majority want peace. Ugandans want peace. I want peace. I cannot desire to leave my home to come and live. I mean, and have my body beaten, and have myself maimed. I would not want to have that. But in those instances, please let them be learning lessons for us, and let's make sure that we can be able to provide a peaceful environment for everything. We have laid all the systems in place. You have heard, you see, the Waganda say, Akatali Kabe, a gumbo sulawa. The Inspector General of Police has given you his clear command structure in these elections. Follow that. If you have any complaint, follow that command structure.
What are those lessons that prior to these elections of today, that as police you have picked and learned?
That there have been violence. Hasn't that been an open whatever? And it indicts us. Because as we are supposed to maintain law and order, would it really be in a modern country, see that level of violence? And when we are there, and that's why we have gone on to improve. The Inspector General is the commander for these elections. Then he has put his deputies, and I want to call upon you, Uganda, let's respect them. Please, when you tewetaba mazina ga nchima nga toli nchima ate yiga engeri tune je kubamu. If you know that you have entered election and this is in an elective position, we have a tendency of sticking to one side. Life is not on one side, members. You see, Robert, people think that life is one-sided. They want to think of victory, 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 victory. Eranze ngena kuangula, sinabe simbie kubalala. Who tells you? Bobago genda kuangula. Then there would not be any competitor. But if you know that they are competitors with you, get to know that there are two sides. You either go to win or to lose.
And with that, definitely we shall have a peaceful country, a peaceful NRM party primaries. Afande, in just a second, let me just have your parting shot.
Police is ready to protect you, cooperate with us, for God and my country.
Thank you so much, Afande Anatoli Muletera, the Commissioner of Police in charge of community policing. Now, Julie and Brian Cheyune will be coming up to take you through the NRM, more information regarding the NRM party primaries. Let's all keep peace. And remember, in every competition, we all can't be winners. Neither can we secure a draw in these primaries. What we can have is a winner and a loser. And a loser to support he who has won, because then you have a general elections. Have the best of your day for now. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
My friend, when the SOAS started, I went to 3 different local clinics. Can you imagine? I spent money on creams, pills, even injections. Nothing worked. I didn't know it was Mpox. By the time I tested for Mpox, I had almost spent all my savings. How I wish I had gone straight for the Mpox test. I could have saved that money and time and started healing sooner.
That's true. When you notice a rash of fever, Go to the nearest health facility immediately for checkup. It saves time and money.
Yes.
For more information about Mpox, call the Ministry of Health toll-free line on 0800 1066 or send a free SMS to YouReport on 8500. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health Uganda with support from UNICEF, WHO and its partners.
Taxation is a bit complicated, and the only way to demystify it and make it as easy to understand and to comply with is through engagement. Is there a limit to the number of cars a returning citizen is bringing into Uganda? Who has paid the excise duty on this water is not the supermarket which has sold you this bottle at 1,000. It's not the business. It is the man who is going to drink this water. We strongly believe that it will only be through such constructive engagement that we'll be able to broaden our tax base and build our country together.
Buza Commissioner. Now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
The government's core mandate is to maintain law and order, safeguard citizens' rights, and provide essential public services.
Remember, one of the pillars of the roadmap is innovation and entrepreneurship.
There has been this question of how are you protecting our indigenous seed?
It's going to be a tall project that answers somebody's question.
For the past 20 weeks, the front bench has brought you insightful discussions on governance, security, healthcare, justice, and commerce.
When you go through this complicated procedure, involve the lawyers, you bring the case against him, the judge will hear you out and pass judgment, and you're out of court in record time.
We remain committed to keeping you informed and engaged on key national matters.
So these are huge, these are powerful organizations which now Uganda chairs. Why don't you come together?
If we haven't migrated to the e-card because of various reasons, including that not all the people of Uganda have smartphones.
You can sit in your house, apply for a passport. If you have a Ugandan who has a successful logistics firm in the US, it means he can come to Uganda and do a lot more.
Now airing every Monday at 8:30 p.m. with me, Jethro Kasaiji, your interface with the government only on your public broadcaster, UBC, Inspiring Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
He expected me to die like within the first 2 years.
Out of the womb, the child will get pains, especially in the wrists. And this happens commonly when children are starting to walk.
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
You got us on your wallet.
Bobby, again! What's this drama?
Drama? Colleagues, elections for special interest groups are calling. SIGs, elections. Youth, PWDs, elderly. It's time to vote for our leaders. June through August. From village to parish to district to nationals. Youth, PWDs, elderly. It's time, go vote your leaders.
No!
F-O-B! Elections are supposed to be peaceful. Easy vote, okay?
Youth, elderly,
and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the special interest group elections. Starting June through August this year, your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
A very good morning to you. It's the 17th day of July 2025, the day that was scheduled for the NRM primaries for members of parliament. And from now moving forward, it's what we are looking at. We are focusing on the NRM primaries in the different places that these elections are going to take place, reminding you that voting shall be by queuing and not ballot boxes. But anyways, that conversation is really, really wide when it comes to elections and NRM primaries in particular, why they are so loud out of all other party primaries or other party elections that take place here and there. It's all the information that we are looking at. Now, I am not alone. First and foremost, my name is Julie Nantaba Musisi, but I am with Brian Chimbugwe. He is part of the national broadcaster. He's part of us here, but he also happens to be one who is an expert into analytics when it comes to politics. So I guess we have a right to call him a political analyst. Good morning, Brian.
Morning, Julie. I'm so glad to be here this morning.
Yes.
And to the viewers out there, I want to tell you that you're gonna have a good time. But first of all, I want to say good morning to all of you wherever you are. For those that belong to the NRM party, please, this is the day you've been waiting for, and please, 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 take time off your busy schedule and go and cast that vote, because you have to exercise your rights. Right,
indeed. Now, we're not having this conversation alone, so you too are invited and involved. 0709602592. So, Brian, let's get straight into it. We've seen over the past couple of months what the campaigns have looked like for the NRM party primaries, what the organization has been like, what the nomination process, picking up nomination forms has been like. It's all been colored yellow, with peace, with chaos, with a mix of everything. So let's start with the NRM party itself, in your perspective and with what you've studied over the past couple of months, but even compared to the past couple of years, how has the NRM prepared itself for today?
Yeah, I think looking at how the party has prepared itself, they've continued to show that they're actually the big boys in the game.
Right.
Yeah, right from the nominations, right from how the exercise has been held. When you look at how the turn-up of the people that wish to stand for the different posts, that alone tells you how big this party is. I know people will say, you see, they've been here for a long time, they've been in government for over 40 plus years. What would you expect, my friend? Actually, when you look at the longer they've stayed in power, the stronger they've gotten and the more organized they've been. Yeah, when you look at the preparations, especially in the nomination process, there was little chaos. There was little chaos, if you remember.
More joy.
Actually, it was more of rallying, it was more of partying, it was more of feasting, and it was a very, very joyful moment. So, and it helps them, because now there is a way that helps your PR.
PR, yes.
Yes, for the people that have been trying to sabotage the party, trying to put the party down, trying to say they are chaotic, they are not organized. Now, when you organize such a process involving very many people, the turn-up was very big. Of course, given the fact that even the monies were a little huge for those that were supposed to take part. But just imagine if the monies were even less. That means you would even have a very, very big turn-up. So for the nominations, I want to say it was a very big success. Actually, even before the nominations, when you go back to the register, where they had to update the members in the register. Remember, they are going to use a new register this time around. They say they're not going to use the old register. Yeah, so even updating members on the register adding people and removing people. It was the first success they got, actually. And after having that success, they went into the election of the chairman, wherever they were, and it was also a successful process. And here they are, they go into the nomination. Of course, everybody was like, let's wait and see how the nominations come out. Especially the opposition, they were like, let us see how this comes out. And lucky enough, it comes out so well. Their nominations were very peaceful.
Let's start with the nominations and how do you think this organization that has been displayed from the time they released the roadmap to the EC updating of the register, and do you think this type of organization allows them to actually even have their proceedings on the roads peacefully without any police or authority interruptions?
The proceedings today?
Usually, so like for the nominations, for example, the NRM, when the president was getting nominated, was picking his nomination forms, that alone. Processions, I meant to use the word processions.
Okay.
You notice that the processions go on without any interruptions, except for a few that, for example, the hooligans who attacked a woman, and except for that, but you still notice that there's no interruption in there. It's on from the start to finish to where they're going, but peacefully. Do you think being organized is one of the keys that help them have opportunities like this?
Yeah, one of them is being organized, but the other thing is we cannot rule out the fact that they're the government in power. And the fact that they're the government in power, of course, we understand they're in good terms with the security operatives. However, they've for a long time, they've always been in the good books of the security operatives. So they cooperate well with them. You see the problem with the opposition, actually yesterday here behind the headlines, when they were hosting Semuju. They were telling him about informing the security operatives about the proceedings, and then he was like, I was opening the office of the PFF. Did I have to inform you? But in the NRM, they will not say that. They will tell you that actually, for as long as we are going to do anything, we need to inform these people. And the reason they inform these people, first of all, is not because maybe they feel they will be because anyway, they wouldn't have informed because they're the government in power. But the other thing they know about is that they need the security. They need the security. Because if they don't have the security, then they are vulnerable. Because if you don't call for the security, and you know very well that your competitors are all there out looking at you. So if you don't guard your procession, people can take advantage of that.
Yes,
you're talking about the hooligans that caused chaos in the city. Those hooligans, as much as the operatives tell us that you see, there are some people from the opposition who organize this procession, but personally I don't want to agree to that. These are people that took advantage of the peaceful processions that usually happen in the NRM. Because the security operatives have now become very comfortable with processions that happen to be in yellow. Because they know usually those processions are not chaotic. You'll agree with me. We've not had a chaotic procession dressed in yellow. Apart from when this recent incident that we had.
Yes.
So that is why their processions have always been peaceful. First, they are disciplined. The other thing is that they follow what they are told to do. And remember, all eyes are on them. So any single mistake, that's why you see the case that we're talking about of the hooligans, it made a lot of news. But just imagine if it was from the opposition. Probably there would be a lot of defending, you see, because that is expected of them. But the reason it comes out so headlining is because it is not expected of the NRM.
Wow, very interesting insight there from Brian. We are looking into the NRM primaries, so be a part of the show, of the conversation as well. 0709-602-592. Now let's look at the campaigns away from the nominations. The nominations are done. The voter register is updated. Let's look at the campaigns. This time around, they introduced a new strategy of joint campaigns. For some places, it has worked out. For other places, it has been messy.
Oh my God.
For some, joint campaigns are the way to go. In fact, the EC chairperson said you cannot rule out 2 areas or 4 out of 520 constituencies and say that this doesn't work. But share your opinion and your analysis on this.
Yeah, now the campaigns, oh my God. Anyway, the good thing about this is that in the constituencies where we've had a lot of pressure, a lot of chaos, at some point it was expected, because history has it that even in the past primaries, we've had a lot of competition there. But for the campaigns, I still want to say, apart from a few isolated cases, and we know those constituencies, it has always been like that, but on a larger picture, the campaigns have been going on well. And the other thing I want to commend is the fact that, anyway, just like I told you, this part has been here for quite some time. That's why their primaries come out to be on the big stage. In almost all the constituencies, we are counting unopposed people. I think there are around 16 only, either 10 or 16 unopposed people.
Unopposed, they are actually 12.
There are 12.
For the primaries.
For the primaries.
Ready for EC, they are 12 altogether.
Only 12.
Yes.
Now that tells you, and remember, these primaries are taking place in all the constituencies. Now that tells you how competitive this primary is. In all the constituencies, having only 12 people who have already confirmed their stake, that tells you that there is a lot of competition in the party. And this competition usually comes with the goodwill that the party has, because everybody knows it out there. Just like here it is in the central, the goodwill that the National Unity Platform has. If you have the flag of the National Unity Platform in the central, you are 90% assured of a seat in parliament. So the same thing happens with the NRM elsewhere, apart from the central. Elsewhere, everybody knows that once you associate with yellow, you are 80% sure of a place in parliament. So that is the goodwill that comes with the party, and that is why there is a lot of competition in the party. Everybody wants to stand, and everybody has the potential, for as long as you can lure people, the party members, to elect you and be the flag bearer. Because it is about being a flag bearer there, whether you are a big fish or you're not a big fish, for as long as you have the flag, because once you have the flag, you are assured of the president appearing on one of your rallies, at least, because the day he'll come to your constituency in his presidential campaigns, you can be sure on one of your campaigns he will appear and will endorse you. And once the president endorses you, there is a way that alone assures you of a winning. So I can assure you there's a lot of competition, and the reason the competition is there is because of the goodwill, and because people know very well, once you associate with yellow, elsewhere, apart from the central, where it is still a very, they still have a long way to go. However, the president is, just like he has been doing tours, probably. He thinks when he does that, people can change the way they think about the party. But of course, we know the other people also are playing their cards well to make sure that they still maintain their stronghold.
Right, and speaking of primaries, it feels like we are right now engaging in the general election. It's like we're already in 2026, and it's just the NRM primaries. Why do you think they are this intense? Especially for this time around, it's been louder than it has ever been.
Yeah, you see, what has happened this time around, the reason it is very intense is because the other time we had shockers right from the primaries. You know, NRM has, they have their big fish. They have those people who have already tagged themselves as the members of parliament of those places.
Yes.
We have the people that have been on the stage for a long time, and they think that nobody can shake them. But the other time, I can assure you, we had shockers. And after having the shockers of the other time, having the Anites fall, falling for people who were little known. Now, this time round, they are very much aware that there is no weak opposition.
Yes.
Once anybody stands against you in the primaries, anything can happen. That's why you see we've had people lure their opponents into standing down. That's why we have some people who are already unopposed. Some of those people that are unopposed, it's not that even in the initial stages there were no people who were willing to stand against them. There were those who wanted to stand against them. But what they did, they knew there is no weak opposition. Actually, if you look at all the people that are standing now, each one of them has had the thought of having a dialogue with the person that is standing against them, that probably they could stand it down such that they could just go through. So the reason it is very intense is because they know there is no weak opposition, and anybody who stands against you, anything can happen. And once that person goes through, the chances you have, however big a fish you are, you have very few chances of going through if you chose to stand as an independent. Because you also have those cases where you lose a primary and you choose to come independent. But for as long as you're coming independent and you're standing against the person who won the flag of the party, you very well know that you have little chances of going through.
Very interesting. Now, please be informed that we are only able to read your texts to 0709602592. So that means if you call, we are unable to pick up that phone call via WhatsApp to speak with you. Just text in and let us share our two cents on this matter. You talk about independence. And with the new campaign strategy that has taken place of joint campaigns, do you think it will curb independence from arising after the primaries?
It may not, but also if you look at the history of the NRM party, there is a way their chairman, the president, has strategized in making sure the party is intact. He believes so much in dialogue. That's why you see, even after people have not gone through in the primaries, he calls them down and tells them, don't be tempted to stand on independent. From experience, from history, you realize that a few of them choose to stand on independent. And even those that stand on independent, most of them don't win because they have the solidarity in the party. When they tell you that Brian has won the ticket and they are standing for NRM, it is upon all NRM people to vote for that person. So you realize that in most cases, in places like those, usually they are strongholds of NRM. So if you choose to stand as an independent, usually you have little chances of going through. But still, the joint campaigns, I think it was a way of leveling the ground. They want to give people equal chances. They wanted they didn't want to show any favorism to any candidate. That's why they chose to do the joint campaigns. However, in some places it couldn't work. Yes. Yeah, in some places it couldn't work. That's why they had even to tell some people that, you see, you're going to campaign for the first 3 days, and after your campaigns, then this one will have to hold theirs. But still, even after doing that, you still found people colliding. Somebody wants to campaign, after their period is done, they want to, and eventually we had collisions and we had chaos. But I think it will reduce the chances of people coming on independent. But the biggest reason people will not come on independent is because as a party, they know that and they've signed to that. And the other thing, their chairman
What could have changed this time round? Because in the past we know those who have come on independent and some have made it to parliament anyway, although still NRM leaning.
Just like I told you, their chairman believes so much in dialogue. You wait and see. Immediately these primaries are done, they will call them down and tell them, ladies and gentlemen, these are the outcomes of the primaries, and let us all support the people that are holding our flags, irrespective of who you were supporting in the primaries, irrespective of who you thought had the potential, irrespective of who you thought was the favorite in that particular position. But now that so-and-so has won the flag, please let us all support this one. And those that will have intentions of standing on independent, I know very well the chairman will be in a position. You see, that is the other strength about the chairman. When he's doing party business, he does not come in as the president. He now comes down as the chairman of the party. He calls his children on a round table and they agree that, you see, so and so, you thought you would win. Maybe you've been serving well, but now you're not going to serve in that capacity as an MP. Probably let us see how we can fix you somewhere. But for this particular seat, please, you let the person that won go and hold the flag for us.
Right. You are watching UBC TV and we are looking at the NRM primaries. 519 constituencies are heading to the polls today to elect the party flag bearers for members of parliament in the upcoming general elections. And at about it's now 9:24, that means in about a few minutes the election process will start at exactly 10 a.m. as Tanga Odoi did address that from 10 a.m. the election process will start, but of course the queuing will start at 12 p.m. Now, Bran, let's look at the mode of voting. In fact, well, we're going to look at security separately as well as the voting, but let's start with the exercise itself, the mode of voting, the fact that we are queuing. I, for one, have got the opportunity to participate in an election by queuing, and that was for my LC1 chairperson, but it was very chaotic. It was not easy at all. Many times I don't think I want to go back, much as I want to exercise my right as a citizen, but let's look at it at this level of NRM primaries.
Oh my God.
First and foremost, how effective do you think it is for an election as NRM primaries, not LC1 chairperson?
You see, when you compare this primary to the LC chairman election, there is a way you look at a big stage being lowered to a very small stage.
Not that I'm even comparing, but the mode
the
of
mode.
Voting.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. The mode of voting, having to borrow a mode of voting of a small stage election for such a big election. But we need to understand, how does this come about? Because this was not what they were doing initially. Initially, they used to do their ballot system. But there were so many issues in the balloting. Because you would go to an election, you are an underdog in the election, you're competing against a big fish. This big fish has all the influence. Just imagine you want to stand in the primaries with, for example, the old boys who have been there for a long time. For example, in Kamuli, you want to compete with former Speaker Honorable Kadaga. This is a person who has been there for over 40 years. This is a person who has recruited all the people that are going to take part in the election. This is a person who has all the influence you can think about in the constituency. So by the time you get to the election, you've already lost the election by over 60%. You see? Because of the other factors, leaving alone the ticking of the ballots, but all the other factors have made you lose the election already. So there were so many issues then. So what these people did, they sat. Actually, they passed this in a cabinet meeting. They sat and agreed that, you see, the balloting is no longer effective. Because what happens there's a lot of influence, there's a lot of ballot stuffing, there's a lot of, and indeed, it used to happen. It was not hearsay, it used to happen. So what they chose to do, they said, let us make this election as transparent as possible. Such that when we say so and so one, it is evident to even you, the people who came to elect, before you leave the grounds of the election, you've actually seen that so and so had the longest queue and I had the shortest queue, or it was a tie or something like that. So that is why they chose to do this. And I want to tell you, from the time they chose to do this, there is less petitioning. You see, because by the time they declare so and so as a winner, how are you going to petition?
You say from the time they chose to do this, when exactly did they choose?
This was passed in a cabinet meeting they had in July 2020.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that was 2020. So they did this in the previous primaries. And they had less issues because there were less petitions. Because how would you petition when you actually saw your queue was short, the other person's queue was long? Now here in this particular election, in this system, the only thing you can do is influencing the election not to happen. Or if you're to influence, then you have to influence it before. You influence the people who are going to elect you. Now, if you get to the ground and you realize that you're losing the election, the only thing you can influence is the election not happening. Maybe you cause your chaos and you be like, you see, the register has been tampered with. You see, after causing a scene, the election doesn't happen. But for as long as you let the election happen and the people line up and they are counted, there is no way you can petition because everything, the people who voted for you are seeing the other people on, on the other side. These people who have voted this side, they're actually seeing your queue being the shortest. So there is no way you can petition. So that is why they chose this one. And to me, I think this is okay. This is better. Yeah, this is fair than the other time. Because the other one used to favor the big fish.
Yes.
But this one here, this one gives chance
to everyone.
If you're a big fish, you went to parliament, you forgot about the electorate, so that means this is the time they have to pay you. And the only way they have to pay you is by not letting you do the ballot stuffing. Is by them coming there, they be like, you see, we trusted you, but when you went there, you forgot about us. This is our time to pay you back. So what they do, they don't stand behind you. They stand behind your opponent and you lose, broad daylight.
And I think this also shows us the power that we have as the electorate. Earlier on the show, we hosted Manuela Mulondo, and she was talking about how, as the electorate, how we vote and how it affects us in the long run and in our day-to-day life. And if you think about it, the fact that we come to queue behind somebody who we think will represent is enough to show us how much power we have as the electorate. And that means that if only civic education was intense in this nation, I think it would inform citizens more.
So you think we can as well borrow the same for the presidential elections?
It would be, I imagine. I imagine. It would be, at least for members of parliament, okay. We queue behind members of parliament.
The only challenge with this particular system...
Could it be the numbers?
First of all, the numbers.
Yes.
But then the other thing is the fact that this election must happen for a given period of time.
Yes.
There is no way you can tell people to come at their leisure. Because it would mean that the person who came first would have to wait till 4 p.m. when they have to count. So that means, that's why you see, like you are informing us, that they have to get there by 10. They check the register up to midday. Then at midday, the lining up will be happening. Up to a certain time. Which means if you come past that time, then you're not going to take part in the election. So that is the other issue. When we use the same system for the other election, it would mean that the election is going to happen for a specific period of time. You'll not come at your pace. But with the balloting, you can come in the morning, you go and work. You come in the afternoon, whenever you have your free time, you come and vote, then you go and do your other business. But for this one, you have to be there. And then the other thing about this one is the fact that it takes a very short period of time. You come at 10, we check the register. After checking the register, let us vote. When we line up from this time to this time, they are going to count. After counting, we don't have to wait for the other system of this is invalid, this is such kubo, this is, so we don't have to wait for that. When they are counting 1, 2, 3, by the time they get to the last person, we know the result already. So the only thing we wait for is for the declaration forms to be signed and handed over to the agents.
On that note, Brian has been talking about 10 a.m. Allow me revise just re-echo the timelines that we have for today's elections, and that is voters converging at the venue, your polling station at 10 p.m. and you're left with about a few minutes to make sure that 10 a.m., pardon me, yes, 10 a.m. for you to converge. And the reading of names in voter registers is going on all the way up to 11:45 a.m. And the polling starts at 12 p.m. and ends at 2 p.m. However, in Karamoja, voting started already. It started at 9 a.m. and this is due to weather and pastoral lifestyle in Karamoja. That's why it had to start as early as 9 a.m. So make sure that you go exercise your right as a member of the NRM party, one who believes in a particular candidate to represent you in the August House. And also it's important to note that voting by proxy is not allowed. Now, let me have a look at a couple of your comments. And hi, Julie, thank you for the program. This is Isaac Wanzala Aizo in West Nile, where we are really ready and eager to see the results and outcomes from the NRM primary elections. Today, still following UBC program, still final activity. And somebody else comes through and says, the side of Shema South, the battle is between Professor Kamuntu and Tylers. And then, hello, thank you for the program. We appreciate. Thank you so much for being on the show. Continue giving us those comments and sharing your opinions as well. Now, Brian, looking at the hotspots, Sembabule district.
Maybe before we get to the hotspots.
Yes.
I wanted to highlight also the other good thing about this particular system of lining up. It is very cheap. It is one of those very, very cheap methods of carrying out an election.
Right.
Because it saves the EC so much money, the EC of the NRM. You don't have to print any ballots.
Yes.
You don't have to carry any ballot boxes. And on top of that, at the polling center, they don't have to wait for officials to bring requirements for the election. The only thing we need for this election to happen is the register. Once we have our register and we have the declaration forms. So when the register is there, then the election is good to go. But the other time we would see the election starting late because we are waiting for the ballot papers, we are waiting for materials. I hear they delayed, I hear somebody tampered with them. How are you going to tamper with the queue? You can't tamper with the queue. Yes, when the register is there, then the election is just good to go. So this thing is just the way to go, especially in the primaries.
When you talk about it being affordable, or you know, it costs less, you think about it, perhaps taxpayers' money could be. Let's look at the hotspots. Sembabule district is in there. In fact, it tops the list. Isinjiro comes second. Mubende in there coming in as the third. And then Rwanda, Bundibujo, Kabera Maido, Tororo, Nakasongola. All these are hotspots districts. And it's where it's been so chaotic. 8 in total. 8 of them in total. Well, let's look at the security for today's exercise. In your perspective, how ready do you think the security is for these 8 spots, but also others that haven't been in the papers as this?
Oh my God. You see, when it comes to security, the security operatives will tell you that if there is an exercise that puts them on tension is the NRM primaries. Actually, it puts them on tension even more than the final election of the general election. The reason is, in this particular election, you see, I'm using the word big fish. I'm using it categorically and for a reason. Because you're going into an election where a big fish is standing against a big fish.
Yeah.
And remember, in these elections, influence is very important. So you look at a security operative who is looking at their boss doing what they're not supposed to do in this particular election. And you're telling them to stop their boss from doing whatever they are doing. And then on the other side, there is also another boss who is doing what they're not supposed to do, and you're telling this operative, the security operative, to come in and make peace. So that is why it becomes very, very hard for these people. So I want to thank them They are doing their best. Of course, they've told us they've organized zones. They've put up a few commanders who are going to man the different zones. Of course, below them there will be RPCs, then DPCs, and then the OCs. But I want to assure you, this election is going to be intense, and the security operatives have to do their best, or else we are going to see chaos. Because even in the primaries, there was security, but you can see what happened. If you remember, they even passed a directive that these people are not supposed to come with any guns when they're coming to for the polls. So that tells you how intense it is. And even after passing such a directive that they shouldn't come with their guns, you're not sure that they're not going to come with them. And even if they came with them, we want to see, we want to have the assurance that if one of them, the big fish, came with the gun at the polling station, what shall be done? You will realize that still there will be a compromise because of the kind of people that are taking part in this election. This is a very cumbersome election. The people that are taking part here are the people with the biggest influence in the country. They are the people that head the operatives that are supposed to man the security. So it becomes very hard for them. However, what do they have to do? They are on the job, and they have to do the best to ensure that this election is peaceful, and we pray it comes out well. We pray
Surely,
it comes out
indeed.
well.
Now to engage a couple of the comments coming in. Thank you for the program. The NRM primary elections process is so traumatizing. It may escalate violence in our communities. Some are already scared. In fact, speaking into this, do you think with what has transpired, this is a moti, that the author is called a moti. It's an example of an electorate who's already skeptic and scared at the same time. What do you think the turn-up will be, the voter turn-up will be like?
For the voter turn-up, I expect the people to turn up in big numbers. Because these are people of the same family. Probably, I don't support Brian. I support Julie, but we are on the same register. We are in the same party. So that means, as much as I'm not going to vote for Brian, I will still come for the election because I'm going to vote for Julie. And the other thing is that the only tricky bit is the fact that for this particular election, you cannot say that I'll come early and go. That is the other bad thing about it. Because with the other election, if you're scared and kind of skeptical that there would be violence, what you do, you can say, I'll go there when it is not chaotic. I'll go in the morning, vote, run away, then go on TV and watch. Now for this particular one, you have to be there because the counting is done when you're physically there.
Yes.
But that is the other challenge about it. But for the security, the only problem will be the conflict of interest. Because the people that are manning the election, just like I've told you, they are guarding the people that have the most influence. And the other challenge we are having with our security is the RDCs of the different places wanting to decide where the election is going to go. That is the other challenge. And remember, they head the security committees of these places.
When you say where the election is going to go, what does it mean?
They want to influence people in their interest. They want to influence the election in their interest. For example, if they are backing a certain candidate, they want that candidate to win at all costs.
Right.
And remember, they head the security committee of these areas. So in most of the areas where we've had chaos, usually the RDCs have caused these scenarios because they want to influence the election to the side where they think they support personally. So if that doesn't happen, then we shall have a success. But we cannot rule out the fact that we shall have some chaotic scenes because even if we don't have them before, we may not have them before, we may not have them during the election, but after the results have come out, we are going to have people that are not going to accept defeat just like that. There are people that will, you see, for an election, even if you lost, in broad daylight and it is very evident you lost. But because maybe you have to make a statement or you don't want to let it go just like that, so some people are going to cause scenes, so you'll see chaos. And the other thing, maybe you'll see people celebrating in front of the people that have lost. Yeah, they may have to. So that kind of thing, it might cause chaos. But I want to urge the people that are going out there to elect, to take part in this election. There is life after this election. There is life after these elections. And the people that we choose to die for, life will go on. You're going to die in the election because you've chosen chaos. You saw what happened in Luengo. These were not contestants attacking contestants, but these were the voters attacking voters. But how do you attack a fellow voter at the expense of the person who is standing? The person who is standing is safely guarded in their home, for maybe with security. You're here, you're hurting a brother, you're hurting a sister, but these same people you're hurting are the people you live with. These are the people you're going to do business with tomorrow. Right. These are the people you live with in the community.
They're the first security.
They're your first security. They're your other family. But you're doing this in the name of showing a lot of support for the person maybe you're supporting, but at the end of the day, after the election, these are the people you're going to live with. So me, I want to urge the people, let this election not blindfold you. At the end of the day, there is life after the election, and the people you are attacking, these are the people you're going to be with. An election is an election. If you lose this one, wait for the next one. Probably you'll be a winner in the next one. But if you think this is a do or die, my friend, it could be you dying in the chaos.
Indeed, and it's, I guess it also exposes where the heart is in regards to why you're contesting, because ideally, if you're meant to serve the nation of Uganda, then there are matters you let go and allow yourself another opportunity.
Sometimes I ask myself, when you look at the aggressiveness that the contestants use in the primaries, in the campaigns,
general elections, yes,
can we transfer the same aggressiveness into yearning to serve the people?
Exactly.
Have we ever seen a person being so aggressive in making sure that the social services reach the last person? The way they be aggressive to make sure their ballot box is full. Because if somebody can afford to risk their life, cars are burnt, people are killed. We've not seen such chaos happen when it's a member of parliament rallying people for a road to be constructed, maybe for a hospital to be equipped. But when it is a primary, they can do whatever it takes. But when it comes to service delivery, you don't see the same aggressiveness. So there is a way that makes us think otherwise. Probably they prioritize the going to parliament more than the reason for going to parliament.
Exactly.
They want to be there, but they don't want to do what they're supposed to do when they get there.
The fruit is quite evident in there, and it informs this conclusion. But speaking of the people we vote in these primaries, do you expect any new faces to hold the flags for the NRM?
Personally, I expect some new faces to come around.
Right.
The only thing that happens in the NRM is that somebody losing a primary does not actually get them off the stage. It does not guarantee them not being in service because they're the government in power. So anybody, for example, if you lost an election or a primary, you would still have some hope that maybe you would be placed somewhere, but I can assure you there is a lot of competition out there. That's why I was telling you that these people are very much aware of the shockers that happened the other time. So they don't take any competition for granted, and they know there are new faces that will come up, because at the end of the day, let me tell you, the fact on ground is people were sent to parliament and they didn't deliver as they expected. People promised, made so many empty promises, and now is the time to be paid. So the challenge is when they get into parliament, they spend most of their time in doing government business. You forget about the people on ground. Now these little known people for them, from the time you are elected into power and you start doing your government business, for them that is the time they start being on the ground to make sure that they uproot you out of the ground. So what I can assure you is that we shall see some new faces.
And speaking of a bit of civic education in there, when we say people on ground, government, business, what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do, what do you think a voter should look up to and should look forward to and should look into when choosing to elect or stand behind this person?
Only that the narrative changes.
Because being on ground lately means attending burials, attending wedding ceremonies, attending whose birthday, someone's association, engagement by association.
We want to feel you. We want to feel you.
And popularity by association. But at the end of the day, their status remains the same. They do not have drugs in hospitals. They cannot afford school fees. It's all the same. And yet they associate anyways.
And now, that is what happens if you have a population where the poverty levels are very high.
Right.
In a population where the poverty levels are high, people want to be dealt with. They want to feel like their problems, their personal problems are worked on, especially if the general services are still not reaching them. So as you promise that the road will be worked on, don't worry. As I wait for the road to be worked on, can you please work on me in the meantime? Because as I wait for the road, even after the road is worked on, I don't have the guarantee that that road is going to benefit me as an individual. It might benefit the area. It will come with development. I hear the streets on the roads will be more developed. When we bring electricity, it will transform your life. There are homes that get the electricity and their lives are not transformed.
They still go hungry.
They still go hungry because the electricity is there, but they are not getting anything out of the electricity. So what these people do is they want to feel you. As the other one is coming, the road, the hospital, the whatever, they want to feel your presence. They want to feel that you actually care for them, that you actually, you're there when they need you. That's why you see, you don't have to forget the ground, because at the end of the day, these are the people that sent you to parliament. And you have to prioritize. You look at the order paper usually in parliament. It is usually the business that they discuss. Some of the business they discuss does not tackle the problems of the other person on ground. Usually they are talking of the budget. When the other person, the voter, listens to what the budget discussion is about, they don't understand a single thing. They are talking about international trade. They are talking about the president making sure that the international relations are good. But the voter down there, he doesn't even care about the international relations. They're talking about security. They probably didn't see a war, so they don't know how it feels like to be in a war. So they don't want to hear anything. They want to be dealt with. So the MPs or whoever they are going to send to parliament has no option. You have to work on the personal needs of these people. That's why you see people are bought with a kilogram of sugar, with a bar of soap, with 5,000 shillings.
Right. Very interesting. Now, let's begin to close this conversation with a couple of your comments, very interesting ones at that. For example, somebody is, I don't know if they're shooting guns at you, or I don't know which one is which, depends on what they meant as they deliver this message. But they say, Brian does not surprise me at all. What should one expect from a person who does agafe mvuga apart from defending the NRM? This is Akampumuza Innocent, a student of Bishop Cipriano Chihanjire SS. Then this is Derek from Manafwa district. We are warming up to decide on who to carry the flag. And somebody else comes through and says thank you for the show. And hi Julie, this is okay, I read this already. This side of Shema, yes, the battle is between Kamuntu and Talias, good morning UBC. I'm Tugume Silva from Shema District. You're number one fan. Thank you for the good presentation. Thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you for the program. In terms of security, bravo to Diso, Palisa, Eldad and DPC. They are doing their best to quell errant supporters. And hi, thank you for the show. This is give us updates on Ntungamo women MPs. For as long as we get them, we shall deliver. Good morning, I'm Jennifer. I feel this mode of election would influence people's choices out of fears of being noticed. That is the queuing. And I feel ballots are more appropriate because whatever your choices are would definitely remain confidential. The government should look at it as a cost rather than one that would affect people's choices and security. And your comments are many, but thank you so much from being on the show. From Karamoja, thank you so much for being on the show. It means a lot. This conversation has to come to an end with Brian, but we continue to feed you in with the updates from the NRM primaries. It's just 8 minutes to 10 a.m. where you, I believe you're already at your polling station. You'll be converging to confirm the voter register, and thereafter at 12.
Somebody is telling me that in Shiruhura district, people are already at the polling stations and they can't wait to queue.
Nice.
And vote for their
nice. Go exercise your right as first and foremost a citizen of Uganda, but also a member of the NRM party. For now, from Brian and myself, have a good morning. Above all else, maintain peace, keep peace. Peace is all that you need to move Uganda forward.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Pick of the day on UBC.
He expected me to die like within the first 2 years.
Out of the blue, the child will get pains, especially in the wrists. And this happens commonly when children are starting to walk.
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know. You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together.
Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Uniquely ours. Explore Uganda.
This August, Africa gathers again. The passion, the pride, the beautiful game. It's CHAN 2025. And the heart of the action, Uganda, the Pearl of Africa stands ready. Not just with a world-class stadium, but with open arms for every African nation. Nambole and its floodlights are already welcoming. From Kampala to Karamoja, our stadium is set. The pitch is perfect, the stage is built, and the spirit of Uganda is unmatched. Come feel the rhythm, taste the warmth, and witness hospitality like no other. Uganda welcomes all of Africa for a CHAN like never before. CHAN 2025, unity, passion, victory, and it's all happening right here in Uganda. Don't just watch history, be part of it.